Hey, welcome everybody and happy Saturday. How's it going? Thought I'm going to go live today and do a little hangout like I try to do each and every Saturday. And I've got a man in the background there. Let me bring him in and say hey to him. Not sure if he's ever been on here before. Hey, what's going on, Tactile 3D?
Hi.
How you doing? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm okay. Been doing different stuff. Been printing, of course. Been doing this.
Oh, very cool. That's a chibi Deadpool.
Yep.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, you won that. I think you won that for me, right? My giveaway?
Yep. I won that.
Very cool.
I'm making that for my future son.
We got another man in the background. Let me bring him in. He had a great live stream this morning. Here is Astro Printer. Hey, what's going on, Link? How you doing?
Hey, how are you?
You're late.
I'm not late. I arrived exactly when I intended to.
Yeah. Hello, I'll say hi to a few people in chat. We've got Non-Fam. Hello, Non-Fam. He's been here for a while. Non-Fam is everywhere all the time, so no matter where you are on the internet, Non-Fam is there. He's chatting and he's watching. He's lurking.
I'm convinced he's not real, by the way, because if he was, he'd be seen on stream. And
he has been a long time ago. He was on mine, and then in the thumbnail, I went and had a picture on the thumbnail. Go, look, it's Non-Fam. Betty Boop, how you doing, Betty Boop? Yeah, I see that Kieran answered this comment a little bit ago, Ken. I'm wondering, is that an Ender 3 V2? Is that an Ender 3 V2 you're having issues with?
What's the question again?
Dominic Bersada, hello. Kieran, hello from down under. Yoav, hello, Yoav. It's been a while. You've been hiding. Hopefully everything's been fine with you, Yoav. 3D Print Newbie, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Maker Viking, hello, Thomas. How you doing? How's your printer coming along? So let's see. Moving on. Loopy Lou, hello. Oh, it's okay.
But it's just
not
to,
sure
to get the nozzle over the bed. That's just G code. You go in and modify the start.
Jason, how you doing?
To move it over and Y is all you have to do.
Hey, Jason, you just woken up?
Hey, man. No, I've been up for quite a while today.
Hello, Kenny.
Actually,
You seem pretty mellowed out. That's what I'm saying.
oh, I'm just worn out because I probably just took 5 steps from where I was.
How is your neighborhood? Is it kind of cloudy from all the smoke in California?
Me?
Your neighborhood outside.
Me?
All the smoke rolling in from California.
I don't think so. I haven't gone outside today.
Okay.
I don't know, but I don't think so. Tanner didn't say anything.
Awesome. Anything you'd like to share with everybody, you're always welcome, Maker Viking, to pop in and talk about it or show what you got going on. Everybody's always welcome. I noticed when I set up the stream, I went into YouTube and they had a thing for a new thing they must have added. I haven't seen it before. You check this box and only subscribers can comment. So if you've been a subscriber for at least 5 minutes, you can leave a comment. If you're not a subscriber, you don't want to become a subscriber, then obviously you can't comment. So that's a new feature they added. So I went ahead and I checked it and I just left it at 5 minutes. So anyway.
So
that's cool.
That's the lurker button. Okay.
Yeah, it keeps the trolls from jumping in and running out.
Yeah, I guess from leaving comments unless they join and then unjoin.
Right.
I don't know.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I've had an interesting week. I done a video a while back. Spring sent me that bottle of resin Crafting
rep-
resin, and the video was great. I loved it. It printed perfect. It was really thick resin.
Is that the rep wrapper or is that oh no, she's got Anycubic, right? Anycubic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Craftsman's resin they call it. And I think it was apricot I printed with. Well, on Amazon they had a special, $26.99 for the big bottle, 1,000 grams, and you get 10% off. So I ordered 3 separate orders. That way I get a total of like 30% off. On Amazon it came, and I'm printing another DR.DOOM statue so I can put it up on Etsy, that diorama that I did, and every single part failed. Nothing but problems with the same slice part on the same printer. And I just got done with my other video when I done the Captain America Falcon bust the day before printed and printed perfect. And this resin was very liquidy. It wasn't thick like their other resin. So I'm assuming it must have been a bad batch. Contacted Spring. She said, get a hold of Amazon. I told Amazon about it. They said they're going to send me out another bottle of gray because I'd only tested 1 bottle of gray. The apricot, I think it was. No, it's beige. I had trouble with the beige. So I contacted the company regarding the beige, and I sent them out of the lot number and some pictures of the fails, and they haven't got back with me. But then I contacted them about the gray, and they said, we'll send you another one. And then I realized all 3 bottles are screwed up. So you know what? I just kind of want a refund, because if you get 3 more, I got to spend another week screwing with it. But I did have some successful prints yesterday. I printed a whole bunch of stuff real little after I replaced the Sept, and I re-leveled the bed, which it didn't need to be re-leveled, but I did it anyway. It's got 4 points that you tighten up on the build surface. They're extremely tight. I've never had to re-level a resin printer bed ever, but just for shits and giggles, I re-leveled it just to take that out of the what could be wrong. Replace the FEP. Those printed fine. I was like, cool. It must have been the FEP. So then I went and printed. I'll share. Let me show you some pictures.
Oh, by the way, Jerry.
Yeah.
You said you were doing it for shits and giggles. I giggled. I want to know which of the other 2 did what.
Well, here's the model that I was going to reprint again. This is a model
just
right
take
here.
What you can get.
This is the one that I already printed and I sold on Etsy, and I was going to reprint it.
Yeah, that's lovely.
So look at this.
Oh wow!
Unbelievable.
Ooh.
Yeah, and then we got part of it stuck on the FEP and other parts on the build surface.
Wow.
And then that's a different one altogether. I mean, this constant problem. And I got more pictures, but they're not on here. But yeah, nothing but headaches. And the printer has been doing perfect. The resins have been great. And I don't know.
Maybe just a bad batch or an old batch or something.
Something is screwed up with it. So
yeah, because that happened to me with a different brand. It was from Amazon, something I was trying out, and it was just, it came out like well, it was nice seeing you guys.
Oh, here comes trouble.
Feeling the love. I'm feeling the love. I'm feeling something.
All we need now is tripod, and then we'll have trouble.
No.
We'll have a quartet.
Mr. Kiwi, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Explain Kiwi to me. I called you a kangaroo, and that pissed you off. So explain Kiwi.
A Kiwi is a New Zealander. The Kiwi is a New Zealand native, a flightless bird, as opposed to a kangaroo. It can be a fruit.
It's usually a fruit.
Well, they originally the fruit was called a Chinese gooseberry, and then it didn't really sell well. But they did not want to use the Chinese translation, which was hairy golden goat's testicles. That doesn't really work well for a selling item, so they changed it to a kiwi fruit because it does so well over there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What happened if we call you Tasmanian Devil?
I like the other name.
Tasmanian Devil?
Yeah. No, the golden hairy goat's testicles.
You're just the little forest parrot pigeon bird that runs and can't fly.
That's the one.
That's the one.
Kieran, at the end of that one video, I did
creepy,
2 videos back
birds.
when I was doing the Falcon Winter Soldier, and you're asking about mixing resins.
Yeah.
Typically, I can take resin while it's printing when it's not, the UV light's not on, and when it comes back up, I'll go ahead. 1 second, Llama. I'll go ahead and I'll dump resin in there, and it's fine. But the other day I was running so low, I got a bunch of Tenacious and some really old stuff in ZYLTECH, and I was dumping in whatever I had just so I could finish the print. The print finished, but part of it in the resin, which I didn't talk about in the video, it kind of like coagulated. It's like, what the hell is that? So you can see it in the video when it time lapses up. It's like, what in the hell is that in there? It looks like ice. and it kind of turned to goo. It had cured, and I just mixed too much crap together. But typically, I don't stir it. I just add a little by little, and it's fine. And let me bring in the blue tape guy. Hold on. Hey, what's going on, Mama?
Hey, Llama.
Mr. Llama.
Llama Rama.
He's incognito. He's hiding in the dark.
He's in the
In
back.
the shadows.
Yeah,
Lurking in the shadows.
he's giving evidence, you know.
Yeah.
The secret witness, yeah. The protected witness.
Right.
I took my. You guys haven't noticed. I took the blanket off the windows.
We noticed. Yeah, that's why we.
And you
Yeah.
put it in.
That's why-
That's why we can't see you.
Hey, Gary, how you doing?
Probably a good thing, then, huh?
You know, Rama. Now that you're in silhouette, you should keep that look.
That's an improvement, yeah. Well,
It's
the
an-
hat is
it's an
recognizable
upgrade.
though. The hat's all you need to recognize them, so it's all
Yeah.
good.
That's the giveaway.
You know,
She'll be back next Wednesday, guys. So next Saturday, the live stream, she'll probably come in here and mess with me again.
Cool.
There you go.
We haven't seen you getting your head slapped for a while. We need to see that.
Yeah, we're missing it.
Production
Yeah.
values come
Yeah.
down a little bit.
We'll get you in trouble. Don't worry, Jerry.
Yeah, but if you want, I can have my girlfriend slap me.
We're not-
We
like
would-
that too
we
much.
would know you'd like it far too much. Yeah, we know you enjoy it. Yeah, we know you
You
enjoy
like
it.
that
I
too much, man.
know, I enjoy it.
Right, we're not doing you any
Handcuffs and
favors
paddle,
there,
right?
Matt.
Unfortunately, we are doing him favors. That's the case. Yeah.
Yeah, we would be if we did that.
Oh, I'm not sure if he's watching, but Pedro Ballister last week gave me $5 on PayPal. Right, I noticed it when the stream ended because I usually check my email before the stream ends to see if anybody PayPal'd me. And thank you very much, Pedro, for the $5. I really appreciate it. And that shirt I was talking about that was coming from that company with the name with all these letters. It's right there. It is right there behind me. It just came.
Cool.
So
Loopy, go do it.
Oh, she's gonna come.
yeah, that was in the mailbox yesterday too.
Oh,
The backlash tensioners on that roll feeder. How effective are they? Because they says you can reprint new ones if they wear out for the size of the roll.
Your big ZYLTECH spool holder, Jerry?
Yeah, Jerry.
What?
The auto tensioners on it.
Yeah,
That
you just
large.
tighten up that one bracket, and that's the way it doesn't free spin constantly. You just got to crank down the bolts. I haven't cranked it down real tight. I don't want to break it, but that's technically what you do. You just tighten down
okay,
those two
guys.
bolts in that bracket. Yeah, let me see here. Andrew Osmond,
Yeah.
just became
Yeah.
STL file.
The dog's
I've
next
heard
to
the
me.
expression pussy whip, but dog whip's a new one for me.
No,
I know.
the SD files come messed up and won't print the first 5 layers. The first couple of layers, if you can't get the first couple of layers of print, it's probably you're too close to the bed and the filament will extrude. If the nozzle's too close to the bed, you can't push material out. That's probably what's happening the first couple
When
of
your
layers.
files
And after
come
it slowly
messed
moves
up.
up, it starts extruding. Mike, if you
Yeah.
listen to your extruder, if you hear a clicking sound from your extruder, it's trying to feed and there's no material coming out.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's talking about it. The model screwed up on the bottom, and it's holding it up off the build plate or something.
Well, yeah, if it's different, tell
Where
us.
he's mentioning the actual.
Andrew, can you
STL file.
can you be a little more specific? Do you mean like is your nozzle too close to the bed and nothing will squish out? Or is the
Printing in
nozzle up
space.
high and it looks like something should come out but nothing comes out?
Yeah.
And do you hear any noises?
Are you putting it in the slicer,
voice.
not even getting it to the printer and seeing it's not working in the slicer? Most of the time, if it's just the first couple of layers with an STL file and you're seeing it in a slicer, you just drop it down. You can literally grab it and drop it down a
Well,
millimeter.
you can
in the
right click
slicer.
as well.
3D Builder to
Lay
fix,
flat.
check out the model in 3D Builder. Maybe you need to fix it. There's something wrong with the STL.
Yeah, but you can also, if it's not sitting flat on the build surface, you can right click it and do lay flat and actually cure. I'm assuming cure or whatever. Most slicers will actually tilt it, and you select the surface and it will actually lay it flat for you.
Good
Yeah,
slicers
all
will
three of them
repair
will
the
do
model
that.
for you.
Well, I don't mean repair the model. I mean if it's
Yeah.
actually sitting and it's
That's why Cura doesn't do that.
It
Yeah.
would actually
Yeah,
put
yeah.
it-
Oh, I know what you're saying. Yeah.
I've had models that were designed and the bottom of them wasn't perfectly flat or it had weird goopy things going on. So in Simplified 3D, I just drop the Z below the bed and it reslices off the
chop
model
it.
flat, and then I can print it.
Take a millimeter off of it.
So like
Which
some designers, will-
any of the major
Unless it's,
slicers will do.
unless it's a design intent, then a raft might help. But yeah,
So it prints a raft fine. Okay, so if it
Yeah,
prints the
so-
rack and it prints on top of a
Okay.
rack, okay. Sounds like it's not extruding properly in the first couple of layers because a rack is normally 2 or 3 layers, and by the time it
Yeah.
moves up, then there's room for the
Yeah.
filament to extrude.
Yeah.
So if it
It's
prints the
not
raft,
more to me,
it should
like-
be
like
okay.
And I
he's
guess Andrew, we're assuming that you're printing PLA, and
Mhm.
maybe throw in there what your temperatures are and what you may have done in terms of tuning your printer, or is this a new issue, brand new printer, never happened before, all of a sudden, out
Just
of the
that
blue?
one file.
You know, is it just that one file? Yeah.
You can start a print. You're welcome to jump on here and you can share your screen, show us what you're doing. You can post
That would
pictures on Facebook or post a little video on Facebook. But like I say, you're welcome
I'm
if you
cleaning
want to.
40 extrusions
Whoa!
Nice.
because anything that's in a delivery truck in Vegas for more than 5 minutes, all the
Just
tape
cooked.
on all the extrusion is baked right into the damn aluminum.
Yeah, it's hard getting all that plastic off. You got to.
Ugh.
Yeah, Dum. Yeah,
Yeah, that's actually good advice.
Michael's
there.
calibration site is very good on GitHub.
He just updated it too, and it's. I still use it. I know what I'm doing, and I still use that because
Mhm.
his format makes me walk step by step. I have a habit of going, "Oh, I know what's wrong," and just jumping over stuff and screwing it up worse.
Yep.
I still use Teaching Tech site on occasion to calibrate something because it makes me go in a set order.
Yep.
It's a wicked well laid out set. It's one of the
yeah.
best,
Yeah,
It is. It
Calibration
really. You should
setup
have it pinned.
I've
I
ever
have it
seen.
pinned right
Yeah,
next
I have
to
it pinned in my
everything else.
browser. Yep.
Are you talking about Teaching Tech's calibration site?
Yeah,
His,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
his GitHub
Michael's, yep.
cal
You
site.
see
Yeah.
You see his latest video on the magic markers working with Sharpies, coloring
Yeah.
the prints.
That's
That's
pretty
interesting, but a problem I've always had with the damn Sharpies, they dry out on me too quick. So how do they not dry out quick?
Put the lid back after sniffing them.
No, he's printing. He's doing he's printing. Have you seen his video, Kiwi?
Yep. So,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, like I say, a Sharpie, if I leave the lid off a Sharpie for 10, 15 minutes, it tends to dry out on me. So if you're printing with Sharpies and they're all sitting there different
Whereas they'll
colors,
dry
Yeah,
out.
but
Yeah.
you must remember, Jerry, they're sitting into the container. Guy printed one, right? They're sitting into this, so that when they go
It's
in,
not exposed.
there's no moving air around them.
No,
So you gotta stay-
Liam, it's a totally different system.
Oh,
This
is it?
is a
Yeah,
it's,
no,
it's,
this is
it's
totally
almost a
different. You
changing
got to watch
system.
his new one.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
Totally
that.
different.
It's
It
not
picks
that
them up.
fingered system where the
Carousel. It's
markers
not that
go
little
in.
carousel. No,
Yeah,
he's
it's not
updated
that sits on top. This is like a tool changing. It's
Yeah.
printing, and then it's moving up and selecting a marker and bringing it down and moving it to an offset,
It's like
and
a
then
tool changer,
coloring the PLA or
And
It's a different way
yeah,
of
the
doing it
marker's
now.
not lifting up. There's no pressure on it, which you think you would need to grip it, and it just draws with it. The weight of the marker holds it in place.
Here's the number
yeah,
one
it's really
reason
interesting
markers dry
how
out.
somebody did it.
People store them like this.
Oh, don't
No,
do
ink
that.
runs
Flip them
away from the
over.
tip.
Always
Yep.
store it like
Yeah.
this.
Tip down. Yep. Don't
Always.
throw it on the side the same
Never
way.
tip
Keep it
up.
vertical.
Everyone stores them tip up because the color, you can see what color. If you store it tip down, it will never dry out.
A regular magic
Never.
marker, you can pull out the wick and you can cut it off, but I don't know on a Sharpie how long
Yeah.
that wick is.
Sharpie's
No.
not quite the same, no, because it's got
It's
very
not.
long,
felt.
hard wick on it for the tip.
Yeah, they're generally felt with these permanent ones. The cheaper ones. I don't know what actual Sharpies are. Most of these cheap ones are just felt. Are Sharpies felt too? Yeah, Sharpies are
yeah.
felt.
Oh, Jerry, yeah. So
They're similar
Sandra,
fabric. But
Sandra
always
went out.
store them cap down, and they won't
set.
dry out. Even if you're using it, like if you store it cap up and then you start using it, it's working fine, and then it seems to dry out, it's because the wick hasn't.
It must be a
moist.
bad file. It must be a bad file then, Andrew. If
Maybe.
everything else is working and it's just the R2D2 file, it's
Send
got to
the-
be a bad file.
You can send the file to one of us if you want to, and we can test it out. You find me on Facebook, Astroprinter. You can send me the link to the file or the file itself, and I'll give it a test to see what's happening on my printers to see if it's the file or
Yeah.
not for you.
The other thing you can do, I don't know how good you are with software and stuff. You can try Mesh Mixer, which you got to hunt for now, I guess, because they canceled it again. But
Mhm.
you can actually, believe it or not, I want to say Thingiverse, not Thingiverse. What's the
thing.
stupid
Windows
little
10?
modeling app?
Windows
Tinkercad.
10 does the
Oh,
two bit sharing.
Tinkercad.
Tinkercad, yes.
Yeah.
You can actually bring it into Tinkercad, just
Depending on the
move
size.
it, literally
Yep.
just move
Yeah.
it or resize it like 0.001 and then re-export it, and it will fix it.
Yeah, but no. But
Sometimes,
Tinkercad has size
because
limitations.
sometimes
most of the time.
yeah, because you do run the chance, and that's happened to me where like I've gotten comfortable with Tinkercad and threw something in there, just turned it a little bit, pulled it out, and it shredded the file.
Yep,
and
it
I
can do.
didn't pay attention, that was
Wow.
on me.
So sometimes it makes it worse if it's an actual flip vertice. If there's a vertice that's inside out. I don't know if you guys understand all that inside, outside, back, front vertices. But if there's only one that's flipped and you expand it, it will sometimes make it a massive hole and just like
Self-destruct.
It's like an explosion went off that thing.
Yeah.
You export it and it'll
Yeah.
just
How's it
be
going?
fragmented.
Thomas. Hey, man.
Hey,
My
Micah.
point being,
Good to
when
see
you
you.
Hey,
Freaking
Micah,
vampire.
yeah, so when the lesson there is before you print, look at your sliced file before you print it.
Yeah.
Just look at it. Just take the 2 seconds and look at it.
Yep.
Even if it's boring.
Well, make sure you have overwritten the original corrupted file first, which also does that.
Yeah.
Anybody here
Yeah.
watching a buy from ZYLTECH on my link, you get 15% off. It's always been that way. Starting September 1st, it's going to be 5%. They're doing away with the 15% off for everybody. So if you want to stock up on filament, now's the time to go buy it.
Did they say why? Is it just like cost of materials and shipping and things?
I'm
just killing
assuming
them,
it's
or?
always something like that. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry's
probably
discount's
shit
running them
everybody.
broke. That's why.
So.
You broke our discount, Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
he's
Jason,
been
what was
buying
you
so
going to say a
much.
bit ago? You started to say something about your wife. And
Oh,
something.
she went out, and I'd asked her, what it looked like outside. She said she can't even see the mountain right behind her house. It's
Okay,
so
yeah.
hazy.
Smoke.
Yeah, from those fires. Yeah, I just haven't gone out. I'm still on the DL, so
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, but then you don't get that little spot on your nose from the Sharpie. It would just acetone, man. You gotta have that little dot.
They both destroy your brain, so it doesn't make a difference, does it?
Well, you have to start with some.
Yeah, exactly. So we're miles handicapped, eh, Jason? We're screwed.
That's right. It's a mild handicap.
A resin printer. Depends on how big an object you want to print. That should dictate. If you want to do small miniatures, then you can get a small 2K resin, like the LD002R or something like that, and they're fantastic little printers. If you want to print big stuff, then you go with a large 4K. Don't get a big 4K if you're going to print miniatures, because you have to pour in so much material to cover the vat. It's just wasteful, right?
Unless you're going to print batches and batches of them, then
Unless you're doing batches, yeah. So
I love my mid-sized resin printers, but it takes a lot of resin to put in them to print anything.
yeah.
So if you go buy a little 500-gram bottle of resin, dump it in there, it's not even up to the fill line. It's barely covering it. So it depends what you want to print. But if it's something you think you might want to get into and over a period of time, I'd go with a mid-sized resin printer. I never see a reason to ever spend $2,000 and buy a big one. They take too many bottles of resin like this to fill it. But mid-size would be good to go with. I've got an Anycubic Mono Photon X. I love it. And then I've got a Frozen Mighty 4K. And the Frozen Mini 4K is a good printer. It's got a smaller build volume, like an original.
So many of the resin printers are actually really good now.
Yeah, I don't think there's any really bad. There's no real bad ones out there. Come on, in all fairness, all you're doing is a Z up and down, and you're exposing it to UV light.
Yeah, if they can just stabilize Z wobble, then your print should be okay. Because the rest of it's on you, in terms of an SLA printer. Because then it's you making sure your FEP is good and your vat is clean and your bed is level, or you know what I mean.
No,
like my go-to, I have
Matt
two,
Farmer
and
just
my
got a
go-to
new
is the
resin
mono,
printer.
the Photon Mono SE, and that's just the little greebles and stuff that I do that I would want more detail on, that fit on other models that supplement the FDM prints. But where are you at, Jason? I'm right here. Hey, dum dum. I'm in Vegas.
He lives about 20 miles from me, probably.
Yeah, I'm on the I like to call it the good side of town from Jerry.
Yeah, I'm on the ghetto. I'm on the ghetto side of town.
He's up north and I'm down south.
Yeah.
Literally, we're on opposite ends of what you would say Vegas is.
If it rained for 40 days and 40 nights, Jason would drown. I'd still be safe up on the mountain.
I don't know, because
Your elevation
we had those flash floods here the last couple weeks, and when they built this place out, I've never seen drainage like the way they built this here, especially coming right off the canyon right behind me.
Okay.
And the wash, they airlifted 8 kids out of the wash because they're stupid, but they're kids, right? And they've been telling us for years, flash flood warning, and you've never seen a drop of water. So the kids just assume it's never going to come until it does. Yeah. And down they went, and they went down miles. Yeah, one of them had to be airlifted to a hospital.
Okay.
We
don't live in the ghetto, but we live in an older part of town, and up where I'm at, these are all newer houses in an older part of town, if that makes sense.
We get the same stupidity with the kids here. Where we're actually in the sound, you don't get the big waves like you do in the open ocean. So every time we have a hurricane, we get kids freaking getting hurt because they'll go surfing during a hurricane in the Connecticut River.
Good on them.
I'm not kidding you. Surfing in the river.
And when I was a kid, I probably I'll admit to make really bad decisions. I still make bad decisions. I'm still stupid.
We used to iceberg down the Connecticut River. We used to go way upstream, chip out a big iceberg, put a keg on it.
If you do Facebook, I would suggest joining a lot of different groups for different printers. Read what people say. A lot of times it's operator error. A lot of times it's not. Just like with FDM, a lot of people say, well, this printer sucks or that one sucks. It's usually operator error or something the person is doing wrong, not necessarily the printer. But
yeah, it's
right. Just be careful when you're in those groups and stuff, because it's easy to get overwhelmed with a lot of the things that people say, their inherited knowledge. The things that I know about my printers are fact for me. They're not fact for Liam's IDEX printers. There might be some overlap. Just consider the information that you get.
None of us here are experts, but we know what we know because we have what we have and we use it all the time. So that's our opinions on what we own.
Talk about
I'm
yourself.
An expert in failing stuff.
We agree, Lama.
So Kieran was your teacher. Nice.
Are you ready, Maker?
So was that out loud? Sorry.
There you go. What's going on? How you been?
Hey, Tom.
Oh, I'm good. Haven't been too much active lately. I actually been sleeping nights for once, so. But yeah.
Just sleep at night.
Well, I've been watching the
normal
Olympics.
People do that, but I don't usually do that.
I've been watching the Olympics constantly, and your country has won some medals, and that's really cool. So.
Yeah. That's fun.
Awesome. How's your printer coming?
It's going forward. I've rebuilt it or redesigned it a couple times now, but it's getting there. I'll expect to start printing the parts for it sometime this month.
Oh, cool.
Very nice.
I'll believe it when I see it.
F you.
I don't have a printer over here anymore. It's gone. It disappeared.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, yeah, look at that. There's not even a curtain up. Look at that. He must be doing laundry today.
No printer.
Lama, are you ill?
There are parts down there, but no printer.
Rumors
Are
are
you
false.
ill,
He isn't a
Lama?
vampire. Sunlight doesn't hurt him.
Where'd you put him, in the garage?
No, I put it next door. I was printing polycarbonate, which is really, really bad for you, even though
yeah, the
people
nanoparticles
say
are
it's
bad
not.
for you, yeah.
Everybody who is a chemical scientist says don't be in a room while you're printing that, so I put it next door.
Well, it's because it
job.
releases, it's like ABS and all those. They release nanoparticles.
Yeah,
And nanoparticles get, and the VOCs from those materials, right?
yeah.
affect
I mean,
your
PLA
cells.
does too.
But the
but-
nanoparticles get into your cells and create cancers.
Yeah, but polycarbonate doesn't stink. That's the thing.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
that's
Yeah, smell. So you don't want it. You start printing it in the room, and you're like, "Good, that's nasty. I don't want it in here." Everyone's like, "Oh, polycarbonate's great because it doesn't stink, so it can't be
No.
put on any BS." Man, that stuff's deadly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Llama, have you tried?
Yeah.
Have you tried? I think it's eSun. They have what they call ABS Plus.
Yeah, no.
Where where they throw in whatever they found off the street to subsidize making up the filament rule. I got a little bit of that, and it does not smell bad.
No, but it's still putting out nasty.
It's not great, but it prints really nice though. But it I'd say it's about 60% of that feel you get when you're printing ABS. And I print ABS like that one time was the one time.
Well,
that's how rare ABS is for me.
If you're using it, make sure you print the letters RIP so they can use them after you get diagnosed with the cancer released by the nanoparticles from it.
I'm not
just print lollipops in ABS, lick them.
There's so much better materials out there now than ABS. Why bother?
Yeah.
I mean, polycarbonate. If you buy polycarbonate, it's difficult to print. If you buy any of the polycarbonate additive ones, polycarbonate, PC pluses. I use Snow Labs PC Plus. It is wicked easy to print. I'm not going to say it's as easy as PLA because it ain't, but it's easier to print than ABS is.
Is it price wise though? Is it a little?
It's about $45 a roll.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
that's not too bad.
And if you want to try it,
some of that stuff's like $80.
Yeah, if you want to try it, he has a one-time shot. Your first order of polycarbonate from Snow Labs, he gives you like 25 or 30% off if you order on your first roll. Just give it a shot. Yeah. So I highly recommend it. Snow Labs. I have other people that have been printing polycarbonate and they use it. It is lower temperature than standard polycarbonate. It's 250. It's not 270. Okay. So it's not resistant also. But I use it on my lawnmowers and stuff. I've made a hubcap for my leaf mulcher that kept breaking. It's the stock ABS one. I kept bumping rocks and breaking it. It won't break. The polycarbonate, once it adheres layer, there's almost no layer adhesion issues with it. You can try and break it, and you literally can't.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's got little finger tabs that are on the layer lines won't break.
Wow.
So, put your thumb before they break.
I ordered this morning, and you guys are probably thinking, why in the hell would you order that off Amazon? Because I'm going to take that head, I'm going to make a stick figure, and I'm going to have this thing standing up in my room with that face in it, and I'm going to put eyeballs in it like I did on that little skull, and it's going to be like this radioactive dead dude in my room here.
Light the eyeballs up even better.
Halloween freaking thing.
I want to address what Dominic just said. Dominic said about ABS produces fewer nanoparticles than frying foods. I would agree with that, but I would make one statement. Nanoparticles from frying foods, which is going to be primarily oils in the atmosphere, which are mostly vegetable oils, will not kill you. Nanoparticles from ABS are cancerogenic. Yeah. One will kill you, one won't. So
not only are they cancerogenic,
is very misleading. So I wouldn't use that statement. It's very, very, very misleading.
The other thing is the nanoparticles from oils and greases, bio oil and vegetable oils and stuff you get in your lungs. Your body will absorb and
break them down. Can break them down.
Yeah.
PLA or ABS, polycarbonate, even PETG will not break down. They will coat your lung and give you lung issues down the road. Because your body cannot absorb them. It cannot break them down. It will not cough them up. They will just coat your lung over the years and screw your lungs up. Believe me.
Don't drink too much, dum-dum.
I have lung problems from not ABS, but.
Well, that's why you need,
take care, dum-dum.
You print them. Take care, dum-dum. That's why you print them. You always use that's why you always use an enclosure. And you vent the enclosure outside before you open. Before you open it, you have to have an extractor fan on.
Or just put it in another room with the window open and a fan.
But even when you're done, you need to vent it out before you go in.
It still puts particles around in the atmosphere around it, so you want to vent it. Yeah.
You need to get everything blown out.
Good. Yeah, just put it in the other room with a fan in the window, and out it goes.
Well, that would work, but you make sure the fan is on when you before you go in.
No, I put the fan in the window just to leave it there, just so because it looks cool.
Okay. I'm just saying we need to get.
And then you cover it with your blanket.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So,
Just busted your ass, Liam.
Thomas, what are you making your 3D printed parts for your printer out of?
Just me?
Who?
Me?
Thomas.
Oh, yeah. I probably use polycarbonate.
Okay.
Maybe
in an
ABS.
enclosure. Yeah.
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 Well, he just puts them in the bedroom, in the bathroom, and closes the door and gets the fan out.
I could do that. I used
The
to do
shower, you realize the mist in the shower, the steam will consolidate the particles and drop them on it.
Yeah, you know.
You can crash right now.
To some degree, it'll help. It just makes
We
it
are now getting into the realms of fantasy physics here.
Yeah.
Llama's making
Right up Astro's line.
I used to
Oh.
have two.
And now Liam is going to tell you all the scientific reasons that the crap I just made up is going to work.
Well,
But
his
no, that-
screen this morning did not have much scientific background, so he needs to make up for it today for this one.
It's true. In my
Jeremy is having a
research studies,
problem.
I have found that when I put a screen protector on my cell phone, I will go into the bathroom and I will run the shower and let it get steamy, and I get zero dust underneath. But here in Vegas, it's like it's impossible to escape a particle of dust. It doesn't matter where you are. I could be at the Google data center clean room. There's dust in there. It doesn't matter. It's a desert. But it
Matt
helps.
German's
It does
having an
help.
issue. Matt German updated his Windows done an update. Now none of his SD cards will work in his printers. Any ideas,
What?
anybody?
Yep.
Wait,
Yeah.
say that again?
I did an update on my Windows on all 3 laptops what I have, and they don't work at all. So I looked.
Your
in
card
this
readers don't work?
Yeah.
So is it going through a
None of
hub
them.
or does it plug right into the laptop?
Right directly into the laptop. I mean, none of them work.
Have
I
you
even
gone
have-
back
Have you
through
tried
and
an
looked
external
for
reader?
driver
Even
updates? and-
USB I tried.
Did you try
That's
through?
weird.
Did
Well,
you,
it's not weird. It's Windows.
Yeah.
you checking your disk manager to see if they're showing up in disk manager?
Yeah.
As a device,
No,
they
it's not
find-
showing up. Device manager doesn't show up at all.
As a driver, they screwed the driver, the USB then.
Yeah.
So
it's
if
right.
you
I'll have a
just
look
go and you
later.
hit the Windows thing and type Device Manager, you can pull up Device Manager, right? Or you
Yep,
can't even
it
get
says
to that. Okay.
That's
Well,
how
there's
you
your
fix the
first
problem.
problem. You got rotten fruit on your stuff there.
That's
That's,
not
the first,
rotten.
that's his first mistake, isn't it, Jason? He's put fruit on his devices. That's a bad mistake. That's
Every time I plug anything in, I
That's
get,
problem.
my computer makes 2 noises that is plugged in. I can hear it, read it.
Does it beep when you plug in the
That is
USB
freaking
or
awesome,
SD
dude.
card?
Excuse me, man.
Matt,
Matt,
you there, Matt?
Yeah. Yeah, I
when you
can
plug
hear
in
you.
the SD card, do you hear it? Do you hear it? Recognize it?
No, not at all.
Yeah, it's a driver.
So
It's
it's
a
not
driver.
even.
Driver,
Yeah,
the
it's a
driver.
driver
Hey
issue.
Matt,
Yeah.
let me show the pictures here. Go ahead. I can show them here. If you want to talk
All right,
about
yeah.
them, I'll show them.
Yeah, that's
freaking
this one I
awesome.
just finished today. Came off the print last night, and yeah, looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
I mean, the pictures doesn't do it justice.
No, it'd be a lot brighter.
Yeah, those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even still, I mean, they look amazing in the photos, and you can just imagine how awesome they look in person.
Maybe I can hook up my iPad, come in, sign in with my iPad, and then I'll show you guys better. Looks so
How
much
thick?
better.
How thick is your frame on those, Matt? With your aging frame,
5 mil.
5 mil. So your maximum thickness is 5 mil for the lithophane, full stop, or is the
Yep.
actual lithophane? Yeah.
It's 4 mil.
Yeah.
Between 1 mil to 4 mil, my lithophanes are thick.
And the 5 mil gives it rigidity, and that means you can join it together quite nicely.
Yeah, also if you put 5 mil on and you have just one little piece, like a flat piece, like what you see right here, that will print just like this.
Yep.
Without a problem. And the only thing is that I wouldn't go higher than 200 mil, because after 200 mil, I would recommend to use support.
Just to grab it. Just yep.
You know, all the trouble I've been having with my anicubic resin I was talking about earlier, and I want to get my money back or get it replaced on Amazon. All week long, I've had 5 or 6 failures. I just got 2 in the mail from RepRapper. I done a video on them recently, and I'm going to do 2 more videos for RepRapper on the same printer, the way it is, starting when I end the stream today. Guess what? I'll bet you $1 million if prints come out perfect, and that'll prove it's the resin's fault. The resin's problem.
Yeah.
You know, most resins are fine, but once in a while I get a resin. I got resin from a U.S. company called 3DRS a while back, and they look like a great company. I want to support them, but I had nothing but failures with the resin on my printers. And sure, you have to go in and tweak different settings, but most resins should work with a stock profile. You shouldn't have to go in and try to figure out, like you designed it, how to make everything work just right. People, your average hobbyist shouldn't have to do all that. It should just work.
I find
at least reasonably.
I found
reasonably,
I found certain resins will only work at certain resolutions. So if you set the resolution, the layer height too high, then the resin won't work very well. But if you come up one level, so it's a little bit coarser, I mean marginally, like from 0.002 to 0.005 or whatever, right?
Yeah.
If you make it with them, because the particles in the resin are a little bit larger, it works fine from that up.
Yeah, the LW Mars, a little tiny one that I originally started with. I printed a couple hundred prints, and then I got the mid-size frozen, and I had failure after failure. It's like, what the hell? Obviously, I know what I'm doing. Look at all the stuff I got everywhere.
Yeah.
And then I had all these failures because, you know, I went bigger. Things just changed. It got different.
Well, there's probably the particles of the resin are not small enough, and they're having problems on the 4K, and they work better with a slightly lower res. With a 2K, they'd probably work phenomenal.
Yeah.
Try dropping the resolution from whatever it is right now to make it a slightly lower res and layer height, a slightly thicker layer height. It'll probably work after that. Is my guess.
I'd say I've had no problems at all with the Mighty 4K.
No, I was told by a manufacturer that our resin is designed for this type of.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I now understand. Okay.
Yeah, so they actually told me this because I tried it with a higher rate and I was having failures, and I told them. He says, "Yeah, no, the particle size won't work."
It's optimized for that resolution.
It's optimized for that resolution, or that layer height or higher.
And then my Mighty 4K versus my Anicubic. My Anicubic seems to be built better. It's a lot faster. When I done this hand, it took me like 24 hours on my Mighty 4K to print this.
I love that hand. That came out great.
When I print anything,
that blue color really makes it.
Yeah, it's that Santa Cruz hand.
Yeah, I airbrushed it. I found some pictures online, then I went and looked at my limited selection of paints, and I tried to match something that looked similar. And then when I got all done, I took a black wash, and I went over the black wash, wiped it off with a rag to kind of give it a dirty look. And yeah, it came out great.
I like Gary's limited selection of paints because this is my limited selection.
I mean, as I've said before, I'm not even trusted with crowns because they'll leave teeth marks. So.
Well, I might have another color over there.
There's my extensive paint. It's called
primer. Leave alone.
Primer.
Nice.
Mine's called finger paint. And it works out well. It comes out great. It's all over my fingers. It's never where I want it to be.
Well, Matt, regarding your SD card, try uninstalling the SD card driver and reboot the machine.
I've done that already.
Wow.
Then go to the manufacturer and get their driver and uninstall
not the Windows.
The driver, and then bring in the manufacturer driver.
Hey,
or just roll back your update. Just roll back the update, and probably everything will work just fine.
Or try it with a hub. If you've got an SD card reader hub, try it with one of those. Because that's a different driver.
Well, he's got that micro USB, which is basically just
an adapter.
It's not really a hub, but I guess it's just an extension. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, but that should still work if an external.
Yeah, but that's not quite the same. The hub is going to be a little different.
I know.
So you So
get
go to the manufacturer of the printer and get to download the driver off their website.
Deadpool Chibi looks excellent.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was nice.
Yeah. Yes, from I had to reprint the body because the body was a little bit terrible. And just now I'm starting on Deadpool.
Did you scale that up, or is that 100% like it was designed?
100%, like the design.
Okay, good.
I don't like the
Oh,
hand.
I wanted to upscale it, but no, it's too much filament.
So who signed up for the IC3D and Toys for Tots?
I did.
Yes,
You know,
right.
I was gonna, I kept
I did.
spacing
I
it
got a
off.
couple of them right there where I was just testing a few of them out.
Yeah, I showed some this
yesterday.
morning on my stream. I have more running right now.
Yeah.
I would have if I was in the US.
Yeah, what I was going to say was I'll wake my wife up one morning with this hand, and she'll think it's me, and it's really going to be the hand. But anyway,
And
I'm
she'll
not gonna-
And that'll be the end of the
I'm telling
hand.
you,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
are able to
Oh,
go.
The
so you wanna
physical
keep
hand
it-
and your hands, they'll be
or
gone.
she'll want to keep
Jerry's
it
next
locked
video
in
will have the
forever, you know?
hand stuck in his face.
Jerry, do it Saturday morning. Do it Saturday morning, right? Because then when you come on to do your hangout in the afternoon,
The bruises
you'll
will be
all see
fresh.
The handprint in your
The
face.
bruises will be fresh, yeah.
It'll give you time to use your limited paint selection to hide the bruises.
Yeah, your pastels will put it up.
That was good.
Yeah, I don't have that many enamel paints. I've only got a couple, but enamel colors are more brilliant and bright than acrylic. But I only have
Yeah,
a
they
few that are enamel.
Yeah.
Okay, Brain Hive, I need your help. I have no idea what tape this guy used, but whatever it is, I want it for packaging. But it does not come off. I've tried Goo Gone, alcohol, glass cleaner,
Acetone.
and 3-in-1.
WD-40.
WD-40 or acetone.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
WD-40.
basically
yeah.
what.
Because that will actually
Well,
take
what
the
are you
most
trying to take the
product
tape
slowly,
off
but
Oh,
we'll do
the glue on the extrusion. He wrapped it with like packing tape and it's got glue all over it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
WD-40 will work for that.
is petroleum based, so it will dissolve glue.
it. Yeah.
Otherwise, use
WD-40.
hammer and chisel.
You know what you
Yeah.
can try that's a lot less toxic if you want to try it is an orange clean. Get an orange clean. Any of the good orange cleans, not just Goo Off.
This stuff.
Yeah, no, Goo Off is based on orange clean, but it's really not orange clean. Go to like
Oh,
one of the
okay.
Home Depot and get orange
Okay.
clean. Mix it 50-50 with rubbing alcohol, and then try it.
You probably
That
got
usually
something.
takes anything off. That'll take off.
I
most
mean, I
of the-
have acetone, and I've got. I'm just trying not to kill myself while
Do you have
taking
a-
off glue.
And
Do
the
you
orange
have it-
clean smells.
Do you have any gas-powered tools at the house, like a lawnmower?
No, everything's
Drop the gasoline
rocks
and do
and
it too.
electric.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, if you had any gas in a can or something, put that on a little rag in the garage, and it should rub it right off.
Yeah, that's petrol
Yeah,
for
I
those.
don't have
in
gas.
Europe.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Acetone will probably work, but
Acetone
the
will
orange,
probably
the orange
work.
clean.
That's the total WD-40 because not
I have
most
gas,
strong
just not the kind
machines.
that would take that off. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, it might
That
take that
means you
off.
need to eat less beans, right?
Right.
You could just put it under your seat for an hour and see if that kind
You
of
know, I
gas
could
does it enough.
I could
Yeah, I know
probably
you-
just put it back on the porch, and it would probably melt off.
There you go. That actually is not a bad
Hello,
idea.
Ann. How you doing?
You can soften it up and then use a paper towel and wipe it
And
off.
then
afterwards.
yeah, that's what I was hoping it would come off. But man, I don't know, like literally, whatever brand of tape he got, that is like the best tape in the universe. It's probably the tape that holds the universe together. Liam would know.
It's what NASA uses to glue the space shuttles
Well,
together.
according to Lama, it's blue tape.
It's blue tape.
Always blue tape.
Oh,
I
man.
tell you what, I have a laser that'll take it off. I have a laser that'll take it off.
Wait, I have a laser that'll take it off. It's just still in a box.
Well, it's not going to do much
Well.
good to you in the box.
I know.
Big lighter.
I thought you'd used Liam's sticker already on it.
No, he has a sticker. He
He
hasn't
has
put
the
it on yet.
sticker. That's why
I have the
actually
sticker.
applied.
I haven't opened the. No, I
Yeah.
haven't. I have so many little things that I need to get done, and it's like
The
That
tattoos
new
have been used. We know the tattoos have been used.
the
That's okay.
tattoos are yes, the
Yeah.
tattoos are being used. I think
That's
there's. I think you sent her 6, and there's I think 2 left.
Oh, okay. I think it's
Yeah, because it's oh no, it's fine. She just loves them. It's and you know she's very careful in the bath, not to make sure they don't come off all the way. And
She's got one spot that's not washed. So,
Yeah, and Kieran told me yesterday in my video that his stickers hadn't came yesterday, so I don't know what's
No.
going on. It's been like 3 weeks now. That's just crazy.
That's not. I expect about 5 weeks to be right because we just
Wow.
can't get the planes
just
down here.
for
We're
a
not getting the
letter.
plane.
Oh wow.
I'm
The as of Started last month, they halved the number of
Hey, Jake,
planes
how you
even
doing?
flying into Australia, so they just can't get the
Mr.
priority isn't
Jingle.
on stale mail.
Wow.
Other stuff's got
Okay,
priority,
well,
so that's fine.
Hey, Jake, if you want to drop in, here's a link. Come and hang out.
Yeah, we haven't seen your face in like forever.
Long time.
Yeah, that's a long
well,
time.
for some reason,
I never
really
met
want to see
Jake.
that Voron that never got printed.
for some reason, that package I sent to Renee finally got to Denmark.
Yay!
It's held at customs now.
Ugh.
But
How long did
got
it
to Denmark.
take to
At least
leave
it's
America?
It took 6 weeks sitting in Chicago.
That's just
Wow.
wrong. Yeah.
It took
Is
2
there any-
days to go from here to Chicago and 6 weeks in Chicago going nowhere. And now it eventually it arrived in Denmark on Friday.
Is there anybody you can call with customs and complain and try to get something done about it?
No, it's in Chicago. It's in Denmark now.
It's
Made it
it's
made it
there now,
overseas
but
finally.
So at
Yeah,
least
I was
it's
reading
no
something
longer
yesterday,
under the control of USPS. And it's
yeah, I was
about
reading something
Danish
yesterday or
customs.
day before about how here in the U.S. a lot of the bottlenecks are at the customs ports.
Yeah,
For
I know,
whatever
Betty.
reason.
People like
Yeah.
being funny like that.
Greg sent me a package. It took about 2 weeks.
Well, I
Yes,
sent
sir.
one to Denmark, and it's been traveling since the beginning of June, and it
Yeah.
still hasn't got to its destination yet.
That's
Wow.
insane.
It took a couple weeks for that letter that you sent to us, Liam,
You know,
to
2
get
weeks,
here.
2.5 weeks, yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
Wow.
ridiculous. Like,
yeah, and any like 2 years ago, it would have been here in a day and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Swiss micro hot end only took 9 days to get here.
That's not bad.
No, down
And
to Australia.
actually, I need to check where that is.
That was DHL. That came DHL, so that was good.
DHL seems to be able to get things around.
Oh,
yeah.
DHL
That
does,
would
and Amazon. Amazon still
And-
gets them from the US.
It's
I hate to say it,
Well,
but
The
I
US
deliver on
Amazon is
time.
quick down here as well.
Yeah.
So
I'm waiting for Amazon to start doing what is that called when they do the flights that go up to the atmosphere and then drop down, so they go like halfway across the world in like
They
3
will
hours.
do
Hypersonic.
And then-
SpaceX
yeah.
is doing that, not Amazon.
Oh, SpaceX is doing okay.
Yeah,
I know
90 minutes to anywhere around the world
Oh,
to get your
They were looking
destination.
at for the military, I think, to get stuff around.
Yeah, well, they're not doing. He's not doing it for the military, but this year the U.S. military has put in a part of their budget to do research on
To
how
try
to
it out.
utilize that
Yeah.
to do quick deployment of aid and all this kind of stuff globally.
Yeah.
Like to get injured soldiers out of the field,
Right.
get them to a safe zone, get them on one of those, and they're here within an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
That
gonna
kind
say
of
they're already
stuff.
doing
Yeah.
that
You
with
see, he's
bombs.
stacked
So.
his-
Unfortunately, it'll never be
Rapid
used for
bomb.
that. It'll be used to drop a tank on somebody's grandma's house
Yep.
instead. Yeah, it'll never be used for like the
Did
best
you see
purpose.
Did you see they stacked it yesterday?
Hmm?
Starship was fully stacked yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like 400.
Over
Something feet?
400 feet tall. It's the tallest and most powerful rocket ever built.
Well, Jeff Bezos says it'll never work. It's too complicated.
Well, Jeff Bezos is saying that because he's
His
got
butt
power
hurt.
grades.
Yeah.
He lost out on the work with
Yeah. Yeah.
He lost
Okay.
out. Okay, now offense, right? Let's be honest, right? I like there's competition out there. But one, he's never gone into orbit, right?
True.
He's done a thrill ride going up and down. Like I can bounce a ball in that like that, straight up and down, right?
Really? Yes, you're
That's
really
what's funny,
powerful then.
It's only a thrill ride, and then he's never gone into orbit. He's talking his rocket up like nobody's business, but it's never been proven. Now you have SpaceX who've been doing it and like rock stars for 10 years. Who are you going to put your money on? Come on, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
You're going to give it to someone who's shown that they're
They can get it up there and they can get it back
they can
and
deliver
Yeah.
and they deliver
and repeatable.
And now they're just doing a big size one with 29 engines on it, which is the Starship booster, the BN3 that they have out there right now. And he's going to put that into orbit before the year is out. But nobody has even seen Bezos' rocket, and he's saying it's all this, it's all that. But not one person on the planet, other than people who are in the closed room of Blue Origin, have ever seen this rocket.
The
I
Starship,
put my money on Neary's. He'll do it with PLA.
He probably would.
the Starship needs a
You
big
ever seen
sign
some of those
that
rockets
says, yes,
that
it is on the side of it.
Sorry, Jerry.
Pretty big rockets. with
Starship,
PLA.
And they
need to put a
are
big sticker
reusable
on the
and
side of
probably
it.
great.
It says, yes, it is on the side of the Starship. Yes, it is.
That's what it says on the side of it.
No, they need to put a giant sticker or banner that
Oh.
says that, because you're going to look at it and go, "What the f? God, that's big!" And you go and says, "Yes, it is."
Yeah, like this thing is going to carry more mass to further distance. It can be refueled in space, right? In orbit.
It'll need to be.
No, that's the way it's designed, right? It's designed. They actually worked with NASA because NASA has done refueling missions in space.
Mhm.
So what they're going to do is when it launches, when the spaceship part of it goes up, a second one will go up there'll be like a fuel tank.
About dinner.
The
Lucky
engine-
Jerry,
the engines-
you
the engines
lucky
of them
boy, Jerry.
will butt together. They'll transfer fuel, and one will come back down.
She's not here, and she doesn't cook for me.
Nice.
I cook for us.
Yeah.
When she is
Okay.
home, I do the cooking. Once in a while, she'll want to make something, and she'll come in the kitchen. When I used to have a couch and a chair in here, she'll sit in a cookbook and read off everything, and I go and make it. She'll just read off what I need to go get.
Good.
Oh, she gives you the instructions. That's about right.
Yeah,
Everybody needs a manager.
yeah.
I do the cooking too.
Right. I need constant supervision. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, we
And that's
understand.
even when
Yeah, another feeling,
he's not
Jason.
cooking.
And since you've been gone, Brandy, I haven't said one bad thing about you in any of these streams.
No,
I think
he's
people
not.
attest. I told you I wouldn't while you're gone, and I haven't. I'll wait to get back.
Just don't.
And
read the Facebook
we
chat.
made up for
You're
the
saving up.
abuse
Just kidding.
that Jerry cops and you're not here, so we make up for
Yeah.
it. So it's
We
okay.
abuse everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a bit over that now. I think I think he's aiming for a little bit higher than that now.
Yeah, there's a lot of engines. Got like what, 29 Raptors or something?
29. There's 29 in the booster, and then there's 3 vacuum Raptors
That's
in
crazy.
the
Yeah,
Starship.
It's just like
amazing.
why?
Yeah,
It's a big
That's
Roman
just-
candle.
Yeah, that's just a big
it's
lot of
huge,
stuff.
and like the amount of mass it can lift and the amount of stuff it can deliver. Like they're already building, and they're already planning and designing and building space telescopes and other monitoring systems that they want to put into space
With the bigger mass.
for Starship because of the small amount of
It's
capacity
got
it can
the
hold.
Space in it, nice.
It's
So they're
basically
already
an
in the process of
atomic bomb without any atomic anything in it.
Yeah, well, there was always a limitation about how much mass you could lift, right?
Yeah.
And everything had to be squashed down and made small so it could fit in whatever was
And
available.
light and weight.
It
Yeah.
had to be light and weight, right? That's the reason why we have cell phones. We have cell phones because they had to shrink technology for space. If they didn't know, that's why they had to learn how to shrink technology, right? To put computers into space.
But they've given
Right.
up on that now for the
We
phone.
didn't learn anything. We copied the technology from somebody else that probably crash landed here, and we reverse engineered it. But anyway,
Allegedly.
Oh,
Allegedly.
Here we go.
Have you seen that stupid meme little picture that says, try imagining being the stupid Martian that has to explain to his parents that you were the one flying the starship that the American or the humans took pictures of?
Yeah.
Hey, Betty, I think you're on the wrong stream.
So there you go.
No, you're not learning anything.
So
I thought that
Liam,
was
what happened with the space station flipped over? The ISS flipped over?
Well, what happened is one of the new modules have been delivered by the Russians, an add-on module to give more space for the Russian for scientific experiments.
Turned on.
When it docked with the space station, everything was fine. But what happened was, after it was docked, it was a hard lock docking. About 30 minutes or 40 minutes afterwards, the engines engaged when they were doing some finalization work.
Mhm.
The engines engaged and started spinning and rotating the space station. So
Oh, wow.
what they did was they activated another command module, which is on the other side, which was like
To balance it out.
a resupply module. They fired up its engines, and for about 90 minutes, they were fighting each other to hold the space station in place until they eventually got it killed off and shut down that engine.
and I don't
Wow.
think they knew it. NASA had to tell them that they're out of position. You've moved on camera,
No, the
radar, or
Russians-
something.
No,
They
the
knew.
Russians knew about it. They actually are the ones that fired up the other engine to stabilize it.
Mm.
But they couldn't shut it down until they passed around again over Russia, so they could send a direct signal to it to say to kill the engines. They could do an override direct from Russia. So
That's
they
got to
could
be
basically pass over.
scary because, like,
No,
it's like
actually,
it's an
apparently
earthquake
there
in
was no
space.
problem.
What do you do?
Well, what they did was, what was happening, is they got all of the astronauts who were not involved in doing stuff. There was mostly the Russian guys were doing the work to shut stuff down. Everybody else was moved into the U.S. side, and they shut down and they closed the hatches
okay.
to isolate them. That if anything happened and it did snap or whatever because the
let it
tug of
go.
war, it would actually be spun off into space, and they'd still be somewhat safe in their area. So
it's designed to be able to break away and not destroy the whole place, right?
It's not
to some degree.
Not designed.
It's not designed to, but in the case of it happening, what they do is they move into an area of the station where they can lock it up. They can seal up the airlocks around them, but they're also near the escape vessels that they can get to quickly and get away from the space station and head back to Earth if needed.
They have. Oh, I didn't know they had escape.
Well, everything that brings people there can take them home, right? So they're escape pods. So the Soyuz are escape pods. The SpaceX.
You just have to fall down, right? Really?
Well, you have to guide it down.
Right, but I mean, it doesn't have to be like a space ship. It can just be a module or whatever.
No, they're controlled because what they have to do is to turn them around and fire the engines to slow them down. So then gravity takes them over and pulls them in. Because otherwise they'll just keep looping because they're moving at 17,500 miles an hour, right? So because there's nothing to slow them down. So they fire the engines that decrease their velocity, so then gravity
their altitude,
pulls them in. Yeah. And if you do it at the right time, you land you know exactly where you're going to land. Then that's how they come back.
Make believe, anyways. The world is flat,
right?
Just like your head, Lama.
No, my head's not flat. It's rather pointy.
Well, look, Lama. You've got a point. It's on top of your head, but you've got a point.
Agreed. I resemble that remark.
You also have a hole in your head, but that's the point. He just got it.
Anyway.
No, so they weren't in danger. They have precautions. Like they have leaks every now and again. They do a similar scenario. They lock down the areas and they do searching to find the pressure. They identify the pressure leak. So that's how it's done.
It makes sense.
So at Fab 365, they'll need to come out with a newer version of this. That's like 10 times taller.
Oh,
cool model.
Scale-wise, it's not. Well, yeah, I suppose it is. Yeah,
all the different sections. I mean,
is it just so it's the same rockets? They're just stacked on each other. Is that how it works?
No, completely different design.
Oh, okay.
The new spaceship, the new Starship it's like the Falcon 9, but way wider, way taller, a lot more engines, and it has like the Falcon 9 has got 9 Merlin engines. Starship has 29 engines per launch.
That's gonna shake a few things when it takes off.
That would rattle your. That would, like, I wouldn't want to be within a mile of that thing taking off.
I hope their concrete can withstand the heat from that many engines all at once. I mean, they can with what they normally go up with, but now we're talking 29. So
yeah, but you must remember it's not on the ground very long. It's not on the ground very long, right?
Yeah, and they water blast the deck, and
they flood it with water. So they drench the whole area with water. So and that the water's for 2 reasons. It's not really to protect the concrete around it, even though it does that. It's actually just for sound suppression, because the sound from the rockets launching when it
travels for miles,
it'll vibrate the rocket and could damage the rocket. So the water actually kills the sound by drenching the area with water before launch, because it deadens the sound so that it doesn't transfer to the rocket and cause damage.
AC/DC, Jerry, was that you? Yeah, AC/DC for Jerry.
Yeah, he's.
It's the ringtones AC/DC. Yeah.
It used to be Bruno Mars, so he's upgraded.
So it's cool the technology to use for it, but this is going to be something special. Now, there's one thing I am worried about. He has no plume trench for when he activates it. It's actually just raised up off the ground. So there's possibilities of that storing something.
Everything just goes everywhere.
Right? That's why now. Well, maybe it's not needed, but NASA uses a plume trench when they launch.
To vent it all one direction out of the ocean.
The rocket, so the
DOH Online, thank you very much for the $20 PayPal. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Thank you. I'm not sure who DOH Online is that's watching, but thank you very much for the $20. That's amazing.
In there. But it's kind of cool. I don't know if he'll need one or not. He may figure out later on that he does, and he can always add it because it's on a big high platform, so they can add
got room to
a redirect range. It's not that hard. So
doesn't need much redirection either. It'll just.
Well, he's right by the water, so all you do is with a trench out towards the water and then blow it off over the water, right?
Yeah.
It's easy enough. So hopefully,
do you want it? Don't you get like a whole bunch of other crap that you don't want really going in your water table?
Well, no, not really.
Or is it mostly just that steam that's blowing the water that's moving around?
And as well as that, the fuel he's using breaks down into CO2 and water.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
My wife just called and she said, where are you guys out on the stream? What are you talking about? Because I guess on her cell phone, she lost the position. I said, well, look for the part where I'm holding a phone in front of my mouth and I'm muted. That's where we're at right now.
Yeah,
so we're talking about rockets.
Because when you burn methane gas, right? You get you get water.
Yeah.
Right, as one of the byproducts, water and carbon dioxide.
Okay.
Right, so it's not as bad as some of the other
as like a solid fuel type thing.
Fuels that are actually have really nasty
and the toxic and corrosive.
So he's trying to do that, and the reason why he's trying to do that as well is because on on the moon we can create that gas by extracting it out of water. Like liquid oxygen, like when we had LOX, liquid oxygen, right? Can be created from water, from any type of ice. We can make a lot of the fuels he needs to launch. He can make, and that's his goal. So if he goes to Mars, he can make the fuel there. He just needs to bring the systems to create the fuel, but they can make it on site.
That's good thinking ahead. I mean, it's always good to have a gas station wherever you're going to go if you want to come back.
There's already one on the dark side of the moon. We just haven't seen it yet.
There's no dark side to the moon.
Why am I waiting for like a Tesla, gas electric pump
plug-in
on Mars?
Has anyone ever seen the video? It's on YouTube I have to find it. There's a woman at a gas station trying to figure out where to put in her
Oh yes.
And she's driving a Tesla. She doesn't know where to put the gas.
She didn't know where to put the gas. Yeah, I did. I saw that one.
That's really funny.
It was funny.
And the people sitting in the car right behind her recording it, you could hear them giggling away at her because she's in a Tesla, and she couldn't figure out where to put the pump.
Oh, people.
Matt's filling up all your space now. I've got three pictures from Matt now.
Oh.
1, 2, there we go.
It's probably the same lady that was at the gas station during that whole the oil pipeline thing takeover, and she was at the gas station filling up a laundry basket with gas.
What?
Yeah, there was a lady filling up a wicker basket too.
Oh,
There's another one where a lady was pouring gas in a wicker basket.
Matt, are you frozen? I don't see anything moving.
Come on, plastic bags.
No, he went to share a screen.
Bags in their trunk.
I think he's wandered off.
Gas.
I'm sharing his screen right now, but it's not moving.
I think he muted himself. He did it by accident, I think, because he muted himself and then wandered off. He's back. He's back now.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
You want me to remove that?
Yeah, remove.
Now, if you remove that, you might kick him out as well. So be careful.
Yeah.
There we go.
No, I have some bad connection. My Wi-Fi is overloaded, I think.
So, what do you think of that little laser this morning, guys?
It looked good. It looked good, man. It looked nice.
Just like a little O'Tour, as long as it works fine. Yeah.
It's a nice.
O'Tour has one of those as well. The original Laser Master was one of those, like that. Then the Laser Master 2 came out with a square frame, the larger square frame. And then the Pro is the one that I did a few weeks ago.
I contacted SaneSmart about a week ago, and I asked if I could test their CNC on my channel, and they said no, we don't need no reviewers right now. So as soon as you done your video this morning, I went to your description, I seen which one it was called, and I replied to their message telling me no, and I said, well, how about your laser?
Hey, you don't ask, you don't get. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Tim is doing a good job on the reviews
Why
anyway.
should I spend $300 or $400 to
simple
buy one if
to-
somebody will let me review it? So
Yeah. So they're $300.
That seems a little spendy for what it was, though.
It's a 5-watt output, so it's a higher end output.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a very small footprint for that. It's got a
Very
nice
small.
footprint.
Yeah,
Very nice footprint.
It's not bad.
Well, you think about the price of what a K40 costs, even though you have to do upgrades around $400, and then you look at an Oture LaserMaster 2 Pro. Sure, it's got a lot of cool bells and whistles, but it's almost $500. So,
Yeah,
But
so
that's pretty close. But the size difference, the features, right? I mean, that's pretty close, 3 to 5. It seems almost like. But I guess then it depends to your use case for it. So if you didn't need to burn something this big, then.
Or if you want something really mobile that you can take around with you anywhere,
Right, yeah.
just stand it there and be done.
Yeah.
You can do that, right? So
Yeah, you could take that to like a craft fair, and you could just make
for
like
craft show.
coasters on demand or something.
Yeah, even if you had
Yeah.
to put it together, it'd be really quick to put together at your show. You can't lug around your K40 and your exhaust fan and all this other stuff. So.
And the vent and the filter and everything else.
Yeah.
water cooling.
Yeah.
So you can bring that pretty much anywhere. So it's nice. It's very mobile.
If you're at a show, all you have to do is have a fan blowing the smoke to the booth next to you and let everybody else breathe it.
Well, or be outdoors. And it can be. Yeah. So, oh, by the way, I probably have a live unboxing next week. If DHL said they can deliver a machine to me on Tuesday, so I am expecting the Creality CR10 Smart, the one that I won.
They're literally smart. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I have one of those coming in. I have that coming in this week.
Liam, are you
prepared? I haven't heard good things about it at all.
Liam, are you ever home when your deliveries come? You're always home, right?
I'm always home. Yeah.
Grab your cell phone if you can when the guy gets off the truck with it, and try to film that or take some pictures. And that can be at the beginning of your live stream.
Yeah, I never see them.
Okay.
My camera might capture the guy walking up. I have to check to see if I can grab the footage off that.
The only reason I say it is just to be something, something different.
Yeah. But see, I'd have to check. I'd have to look at my camera, see if it's there on Tuesday after he arrives. I can probably select the area that my door cam captures, and download that, because the not smart, not so smart. I don't know. I haven't. I always make it a point never to watch other people's reviews.
No, that's what you don't want to do.
Our builds on a machine before I do it myself, because it skews your opinion on something.
Yeah.
And I'd rather give my opinion than somebody else. So I have not looked. I knew this was coming. I've been waiting 6 months for it, but I knew it was coming. And I'm not going to give any. I didn't do no digging into this until it arrived. So, and the same for the laser this morning. I do that with all my printers. I try and avoid looking at anyone doing anything.
Yeah, clear perspective is good, because you know, somebody may see an issue that is a legit issue and get stuck there. You might find the same thing and have a solution. But if you already had that same sort of paradigm as someone else, you might have just got stuck and said, "Yep, it's broke too."
Cool. What kind of wood is that?
That's oak. It's a 100-year-old oak. This came out of my brother's.
Is that swamp?
It's actually over 100 years. My brother's house is from 1896.
Wow.
And 10 years ago, we pulled the attic floor up, and he put a third floor on it. He's selling the house, and he saved all the wood. He actually took the wood from the floor, and was milling it to make his trim. Well, there's a lot of it, and he's been giving it to me.
How big are the floor planks then? What's that?
They're almost 2 inches. And that's
they're probably wide as well.
3/4 inch, 3/4 of an inch, right?
This is about a half an inch.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm trying.
But it's like what? It's what, about a foot wide?
But a foot wide is probably not.
No, this is actually 2. It's glued together.
Oh,
you're notches in the back. Is that the lock-in panels? One of those notches in the back of it cut into it. Is that to lock something in?
This is for the ripcord box.
Oh, okay.
The rip box panel.
Yeah, for the channel.
And that's where it's going to lock in. Now, I haven't drilled the holes yet, and he's sending me a panel to match it up to make sure it's going to fit. But
yeah, my next question was going to be, what does R represent? So thank you for telling me.
yeah, it's a rep box,
Rep
But
rep cord.
that's nice. That's
He
nice.
actually changed it. The newer one's just one big R, but I kind of
That
like
patina.
Yeah.
That patina on the back's nice. That's a nice patina. It's worn
Well,
into the
that's not, it's really not patina. It's resin. Those are bug
yeah, but it's
holes.
worn in. Yeah.
Oh, you filled it in with resin?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I filled all the bug holes in with resin. And yeah. What's even better is the resin, this brown. Wait till you hear this. It's clear resin. And I started mixing it, and I actually did another one that's a clock that's in the box right there that going to someone else. But I wanted to color it. And then I'm out in my garage, I get the resin mixed. You got 30 minutes to work with it. I'm like, crap, I don't have anything to color it with. And I'm looking around my garage, and all I had was all my chalk line chalks.
Oh.
So I literally took chalk line chalk. I have fluorescent orange, fluorescent red, blue, and regular red that I use for, construction chalk line, snap line.
Chalk line,
And I mixed it with a little rubbing alcohol I had out there and threw it in there, and this is what I got. And you can't, I don't know if you can see it, but it's semi-transparent. You can actually see the wood grain under there.
Oh,
yeah.
It's freaking gorgeous.
Blue and red
It
mix
came
brown.
out.
So
It's like that's how I'm coloring it from now on. And it's just chalk.
and cheap.
Colored chalk.
And then
Cheap, yeah.
you clear coated over top of it, right?
It's got polyurethane on it. yeah.
Okay.
It's actually, I put matte on it. That's why it's not really shiny. Normally the resin's all shiny.
Okay.
Yeah, looks good.
Nice.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, I can't believe all those holes filled in. There was a
Jerry,
lot.
if you're
I
happy,
wasn't even going to use this. This was a test piece, which is why I used such a buggy piece of wood. This is all scraps.
It looks good though. It looks better with that texture.
Yeah, I'm almost like, I've been talking with, because this is like 2-3 months I've been doing this ever since I got the CNC. I've been, a couple hours here, a couple hours there, talking with Pooch and, getting the files right. And he kept changing. I don't know if you guys realize, but the rep box is now on like version 12 or fucking something. And he keeps changing the locations of the lock holes.
Hi, Jerry.
So I finally cut it, and yeah, it's like he's looking at it going, I want one. So
No, it's a nice.
once I make sure it's going to fit, I'm going to cut a bunch of them, and we're going to give them away.
So they
you
just
better be
did they
giving them this
replace
way, right?
the side panels that are existing, or did they scab on?
No, they replaced the side panels that are on there.
Okay.
So you better be giving them this way, right?
Huh?
You better be. You said you're going to give some away. We're
going to give them away on
direction, right?
We're going to do
give
it
it-
on
For what
hobby.
rep box?
He's
I have
not
I have a
listening.
rep box without an oak panel.
He's not listening. He's
But
not
they did a
listening.
ver-
He deliberately turned his sound off now. Llama's sound's turned
I
off for
just
some
ignore
reason.
him. It's easier. I just ignore him these days.
Jimmy's got a parcel.
Oh,
Here's the thing. If you have a rep box that's a year or older, these
won't
will
match.
not fit.
yeah. Mine's not that old.
This is the newest version, and
I don't
the
remember.
holes line up are different.
Well,
Where
you
the
can tell
slots
him this.
are.
Tell you what, you send me the panels, and then you can tell him to send me the box, and I'll do it for you.
Let me give you a piece of information. I still don't have a rep box, and I'm making side panels for it.
Tell him,
I don't have a rep
tell
box.
him you'll give
But you've got-
William getting a rep box?
Tell him you'll get the
got
side
the
panels as long as you give the rep box
Pooch
to you and to me.
wants oak side panels. So you got the advantage there, Llama. You're lucky.
If
Yeah,
I can
no,
give
he
anybody
wants-
one
he's actually-
small bit of advice on the rep box, it's a great design setup, and if it works for you, it like the way that it works for me, it's been invaluable. Buy it already assembled. Oh my God, putting that thing together was rough.
I don't know. If
I know he's that Alan's been making some improvements, but
I don't know
wow.
if you looked at his latest video.
Oh,
But when I first started
They
doing
filters?
this, he
Filters?
sent me the video.
Hey, we got Jake is coming in. What's
Hey,
going on,
guys.
buddy?
Hey,
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 How you doing?
Hey,
Good. Long time no see, everyone.
How you been?
Good, yourself?
Where's that non-working Voron? I noticed
No, it's
you
working.
did
It's working.
that. Yeah, liar. I don't believe you.
No, oh, you can't say it again.
You
There's
never finished. You never finished it, did you?
Yeah, no. There it is.
It's even got filament through it.
See,
Yeah.
it's just sitting there not working. I don't believe it works. I don't believe it works. You started building that
what the rest of us
years
do.
ago.
This is what the rest of us do. We ignore Llama.
He's been
Now you're learning, Liam. Now you're learning.
I started that back last year in like July, and he was bugging me in like November, and I stepped away from 3D printing for a while. I got busy at work and stuff. But it's done. It's done. I need to tune it, but it's done.
Cool.
Yeah, I got more filters in the mail for my resin printing. Instead of going to Harbor Freight, driving over there because I'm lazy, I stored some off Amazon. For
So
filtering
now
my
you
resin.
got to finish there, Jake. You got to update it because you're like 4 versions behind.
Yeah.
Hey, Betty Boop, are you still watching?
She probably is.
I need
Oh,
coffee.
by the way, I have I was told yesterday I have another IDEX printer coming in probably next month.
Wow. How many will that make? 8?
Four IDEX.
Okay.
I wish I lived closer to you, Liam.
Ronnie.
Well, I'll tell you, Liam, I'll send you a piece of scrap wood for your rep box, and you can send me an IDEX printer.
Yeah, so this is a beta machine that they're going to do. It's a company called MakerPie. Have you heard of them?
I think I've heard you talk about them before.
I interviewed them, and the girl I interviewed, Alice, she's no longer with the company. She's moved on. She was with them for years, but I'm dealing with them on a new IDEX printer that they were going to do a normal dual extruder, and I talked them into doing IDEX. I said, don't do dual extruder. I said, there's a lot of issues with dual extruder. Look at IDEX, and they listened, and their engineers started working on IDEX, and they were way happy with what they were getting out of it. So they went with IDEX in their design. There are 2 machines have been shipped to New York to get their marketing firm to take photographs of it and so on. So that's where they're going right now. And after that's done, one of those 2 is heading to me.
That's cool.
What's he unwrapping?
Cigarettes.
What?
Them ain't cigarettes. He don't smoke.
No,
Hot
I
end.
thought it was some kind of hot end.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
I got one of those. Didn't they get
Dragon.
canceled?
Dragonfly HIC high flow.
The fat bus.
Nice.
Aren't they getting sued by Mosquito?
I'm so
Yeah.
all the 3D printing stuff because I'm
Yeah.
not on Twitter anymore.
And, the picture of the mosquito on the box doesn't help. That's okay.
It's a dragonfly.
My wife was watching. I was going to tell her I wish my name was Pop because this came in a delivery a while back, and I was going to save it for her.
A lollipop?
Chubba chub? Yeah,
Lollipop.
yeah.
Blow Pop.
Oh.
It's a nice hot end.
Yeah.
They are nice hot ends. They just
Nice colour.
I love my dragonflies. At least my first high flow though.
they are.
It'll be another one of the army added into the Toys for Tots program. Is what it will become. I have space for it. I have space for in my shelving for 3 more. Because I left them there on purpose because I know that I have other stuff coming in. So I have the Creality. I have that one, and there's 1 or 2 I'm still working on. That will go in. I have other machines that are not using that I'm going to be donating out. I give them to schools because they were donated to me, so I'd like to give them out to schools. They're given to me for review and stuff, or for testing. So I'm going to be giving them out to schools. Is what I have, and I've been chatting with Creality. They're interested in using me as an end user tester for beta machines. So that might be happening. It's not confirmed yet, but they're showing a lot of interest in it.
I think
Mike
the best
Crowley
part of all
wrestling-
of that is that Creality wants to do end user beta testing.
They actually do. They handpick a handful of people and send them out. And they even told me what machines, but I can't just talk.
Right.
There's a big NDA stuff involved with this. But
My
they want to
Crowley
keep that
person
on
went to
the machine.
Comgrow, and then he left Comgrow, and I don't have a Crowley rep anymore.
Who?
My Crowley rep that sent me the Ender 3 V2 went to Comgrow, and then he left Comgrow, and I currently don't have a rep from Crowley. Anybody I can even message about anything.
I don't like this person randomly messaged me, and I've never heard of them before.
Mhm.
So apparently they reached out. And
What's different than what they're already doing, though? Are you talking about testing before it even goes to review?
testing machines before it's even released.
But isn't that like what all like the reviewers are doing?
No, they don't want reviewers. They want end users to give input on the use case and the use of the machine. And
This is a use it and don't make videos on it. Tell us what's wrong. Thing.
Yeah, it's not.
We don't want review on it.
Hey, Llama, what's the guy's name in Colorado? I had him on I interviewed him here like a year ago. He has that huge room with like 100 printers in it. He doesn't do YouTube videos. He just tests for everybody. What was his name? That maker? I can't think of his name.
Thinking of Scott.
Scott, yeah, Worthington.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tests for.
I got his freaking sticker here somewhere.
Yeah, he tests for a ton
custom
of
3D
people.
or 3D customizer. Or
Yeah. I've got some stickers too, but
He does
yeah.
a lot of trunks and stuff, I think.
Yeah.
Well, no, he used to. He doesn't do with trucks anymore. Well, he does it for a lot of other guys. Yeah, I know Scott pretty well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got like 50 of them in his basement.
Yeah. Well, he's actually built a specialized
I'll be right back, guys.
workshop just for his machine in front of his house.
Here, let me invite him in real quick.
Who is Scott there?
Yeah, well, I'm going to invite him.
Yeah, well, he might be working, but yeah,
Oh,
Scott's
well,
a
real
nice guy.
quick.
I have a lot of time for Scott.
Suddenly gone quiet.
Yeah, no, Jerry's actually messaging Scott, but
Yeah, I just messaged him.
there's
I gotta go. I gotta go make dinner.
I try and deal with
No worries, Llama.
Well, thank you very much for coming by, Llama. You're always welcome.
All right, man. Take care.
I gotta figure out what I'm making for dinner first. I haven't taken anything out or prepped anything. Or
Chinese-
whatever I find in the refrigerator stirred together in a big pot.
Chinese food or pizza?
No.
I'm looking at
You can't do either.
steamed salmon with mushrooms and rice.
No mushrooms. Can't do mushrooms.
Me neither. Mushrooms are a big no-no.
Yeah.
I'm allergic to them.
I love
Okay.
I just don't like them.
I'm not a great fan, but I don't mind the slightly steamed. So it's
I
not
bought
too
deep
I
fried
love
ones and I throw them in the air fryer.
The rubber band, anyways.
No,
If you throw them in a microwave, they're rubber. If it depends how you cook them.
Yeah, they're
Yeah,
always
no,
different.
I love mushrooms. Fried mushrooms with butter.
sautéed in butter.
Oh,
That'd be the best, mate.
Oh, yeah.
when I was a kid, I
That's
would
weird.
actually I would
Pick the
cut
field
up
mushrooms.
With just
Yeah.
cook them in the pot with butter, and
Yeah.
sit there and eat them watching TV.
Out of
Pepperoni
the pot.
mushroom.
Out of the pot.
I love mushrooms on pizza. Pepperoni mushroom.
Yeah, no, well,
With extra pineapple.
yeah, no,
Anyway,
okay.
I gotta
it's
go
not a-
figure it
it's
out,
not
so
a
I'm outta
pizza
here.
with pineapple.
Take care, man. Thank you.
Hello.
It is not
Pineapple
a pizza with pineapple.
pizza.
I don't order pineapple on pizza, but I've had it and it tastes
I
fine.
knew that would set
I
up.
like
the
it.
Academy
No way,
picture.
I like
no
it.
way.
That's fine.
That's sacrilege.
But-
Pineapple
Yeah.
on pizza.
One thing that Jim from ZYLTECH does, which I don't understand, he must have been poor when he was little. He says he dips Oreos in water. Now, who the hell doesn't use coffee or milk? He says he dips
Yeah.
Oreos in water. It's like, who does that?
Well,
Hey, whatever you grew up with. It's whatever you grew up with.
True.
yeah, but and I tell you, there's actually I worked with a girl, and she said she would always have the pizza without the sauce on it, just the cheese and whatever.
Oh,
toppings. And
no.
I would say, but that's not pizza. She says it is pizza. So I emailed because the company is with. I emailed one of the guys I worked with in Italy. His name is Bruno
Yep.
Bertoli. How Italian a name can you get, right?
Yep.
I emailed Bruno and I asked him the question, and he came back about 2 days later with a 3-page explanation
What
about
the pizza
how a
is.
pizza came about. Like the margarita was for Princess Margaret when she visited Spain, when she visited Italy, and one of the guys created a pizza which is just bread with tomato sauce on it, baked.
Yep.
And he explained the history of it. And he says
History.
a pizza without sauce is not a pizza.
No, it's flatbread.
And I said,
It's flatbread.
subject is over. And it's been an Italian just told you it's not pizza anymore.
It's not. Without the sauce, it's just flatbread with toppings. That's all it is.
That's all it is.
Flatbread.
How about
Gotta have the-
banana
gotta have the sauce.
anchovies on pizza?
No.
No anchovies.
No.
Who likes avocados?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Not on pizza, but
Not
I
on
like
pizza, but
avocados.
There you go.
What
Check
is
this
it?
out.
Oh, is that little planter? That's actually what I'm printing now. I'm putting some planter.
Avocado texture on it.
Yeah, that's the fuzzy skin from Cura.
Yeah.
Well, that looks
No,
good. Yeah.
no Z seam.
Because of the fuzzy skin.
That you can
Because of the
see.
fuzzy skin.
Right, yeah.
No,
Nice.
there is no fuzzy. Yeah, I mean the interior
Has
the
it.
seam on the inside. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can actually say the
But-
Z seam starts on the inside. You can do that. That's
Right.
not Cura.
But this is
Oh, that's
Oh,
That's
cool.
going to be nice.
That's cool. Yeah.
I like that.
Sweet.
well, the wife prefers this one.
Yeah,
Or the
black,
gold
and
top.
Mm.
black and gold is always classic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I
Can't go
prefer the
wrong,
blue
but
and
they-
black one.
Now, see,
But that fuzzy texture came out great. As
see, one thing I'm going to tell you. I'm going to annoy him now. Watch. See, the way you printed two parts, if you had an IDEX, you wouldn't have to.
there is that. There is that. But this model does not work in one part with the overhangs. It doesn't work. There are
I've
issues
never-
printing because the top is printed at an angle. If you print it vertically, the overhangs will cause issues with the patterning.
Printed upside down.
I've never seen an IDEX print that perfect like that. His avocado there. An IDEX print, they print okay, but I've never seen a perfect.
What to print
Sure.
the filigree, or the actual avocado?
Either. Okay, I'm going to see a perfect print here. They're perfect. No layer line issues.
No,
I mean, from here it looks good, but
Yeah.
no problems.
okay, that looks good enough that you can sell it, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean, as long as you
What
want
do
to
you use for the for doing the color change, for actually modeling the colors on it,
A
Liam?
Sharpie.
No, for doing the actual color change.
Well-
What do you use to actually?
Well, the color changes is it's just a tool change from the extruder head 1 to extruder head 2, right?
yeah.
And what you do is your models have to be broken up. So actually you have to take out the separate
The pieces,
colors and
yeah.
separate them.
Mhm.
You assign one color to extruder 2, the other to extruder 1.
And then you
when
merge it.
It prints 1 and then brings out then parks it, brings out extruder 2 and prints and so on. And they take turns coming in and out.
Yeah.
But they don't have a purge tower because what they do is they purge a small bit, maybe about a centimeter, clean the
And
head
come in.
and then move out the print.
yeah, wipe it over a bucket or something.
You have a white bucket. Some people don't even use white buckets. They just have a silicone or a plastic, nylon
Kind of
plastic
brush or something?
ledge that it
Yeah.
actually just barely touches the nozzle
And drags it off.
It flips off any extrusion off it. And I have little buckets. Some of my printers don't have the buckets. One of them does. The other two do not have buckets. So what I do is I 3D printed little baskets basically, right? Little boxes. And when it goes under where the head is, and when it wipes it off, the stuff falls down into
Falls
the
in there.
little basket I have inside.
That's nice.
But you have to have every piece as a multi-piece STL. For
Well,
it
you have to
work
do that for
properly.
any multiple color part.
yeah.
Like even if you're using a dual extruder or a single head, you have to do that. But then you have to purge out the old, bring it purge in the new, then come over and print with it, and then go out and then purge over and back again. Right, so you still have to separate them. Even
But
if there
the
is software out there-
mosaic doesn't work that way. I've seen the mosaic. You paint it onto the canvas, and then it does this internal software for it.
Yeah,
But you
little
can do
different.
it. You can do it both
But it
ways.
uses the purge tower.
with
It uses the
palette.
purge tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
depends how the model is set up.
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's easier if they're separated because then you just bring them in, you merge them in the software.
Yeah.
Right? You bring in two models, STL1, STL2, or whatever number you want, and then you merge them. And like some of the parts are floating, but when you merge them, they're right in where they need to be.
It's got support. Yeah.
Why don't you do a video, Liam, explaining how that process works with an IDEX printer?
I mean, as far as quality goes, it's got to be nicer than multi-material because you're not mixing filaments.
Well, the nicer thing, other than mixing colors about IDEX, is you can do different types of materials. So I can print PLA on one extruder and PETG on the other extruder.
Right.
And
Or
this
the
will run at
top
200, and this will run at 230. And it'll print one and come out and print the next, and then come over and print the next. Whatever.
Or the
we-
same-
PLA and
supports or
PET,
something
I
like
don't
that,
think
yeah.
PLA and PETG is going to blend on the same model.
They will. They will. Actually,
Yeah, they will. Yeah, you can even splice. You can splice PLA
TPU as well.
right
TPU
to it.
and
TPU.
PLA.
Yeah,
It will
you can
stick to
spice the
anything.
filaments together,
Yeah. So
which
you
is what palette does.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can print a plastic part and come out with TPU and print the rubber on top of that,
Directly
or
onto
whatever,
it. Yeah.
and it'll
Mhm.
print perfectly. And TPU will stick to everything. It
Yeah.
loves bonding to other materials. So the other nice thing about it is if you want to do something that's really complex geometry wise, and you want to print it, but it needs a lot of supports that are impossible to take out, you can use
Water soluble ones. Yeah.
filament and print it, and then instead of doing and then print the inner part where all the support is needed with the soluble, and then you just stick it into slightly warm water and let it melt away.
I hooked up my Pi 3V to my Kaiwu printer, and when it's running like on a Crowley machine, you can go over to the screen and you can see how hot it is. You can mess with the screen, change things, whatever on the fly. On the Kaiwu, it's like you just turned it on. You see the three symbols, like it's not even running, like it's not activated. So you have to monitor.
The Pi takes over the controls.
The Pi takes over everything,
Yeah.
and you can't monitor temperatures or anything unless you're at your monitor watching it.
Because did you plug it into the main board, or are you running it over USB?
It's in the main board.
Yeah, so it passes off control is what it's doing.
But
If
on
you
a
do it-
Crowley machine, when you plug in, you still have your display that you can go and
Control and
manipulate,
change things on, yeah.
monitor, whatever. Yeah.
But okay, I thought on the Kaibu, if you plug it in, you mount it on the inside, connect it to the main board. Is it? Or is it just plugged in by USB?
No, the Pi is in a little case just sitting on the desk because I can take it from printer to printer to printer. And I can put,
okay.
I got
Well,
2 or 3
yeah.
Pis that I just put on whatever machine.
Yeah, so I've seen that with a few other printers that they actually don't have, they don't allow to do control of whatever way they built the firmware, and it is a firmware issue that they can actually, that the way they build the firmware to allow you
And then
to interface from one or the other.
Tripod tried to put a Pi on his Kaiwu, and it won't work. And he said the Pi works perfect on his other printers. I said, well, change out the cord. He said, I've changed out the cord multiple times. This setup on this printer and this printer work fine, but on the Kaiwu it doesn't.
It
So
could
he's
be
got
the
a bad
baud rates.
board.
Go look at the configuration settings, find the baud rate for the USB. It could be the
Bump it
baud
up.
rate for the USB
Bump it up.
too low or too high. Some
Low
companies,
normally.
ramp them up. Some companies drop it down, and
Well,
that
when you-
baud rate will make or
When
break communication.
Octoprint connects, you just change your baud, and when it connects, you're there. So whatever the board is set at, you can find it in Octoprint when you go to connect.
Well, you can find
Not
it
always. Not always. Sometimes the buffering's an issue.
Maybe, yeah, but it's often the
So bump
baud
up the
rate.
baud
though.
rate,
It's
yeah,
often
yeah.
the baud rate.
And then when I wanted to run Octolapse on one of my Pis, it said the version of Octoprint was too old, and it wanted me to jump through hoops and do all kinds of magical stuff that I don't know how to do very easily to make the Pi work. So I grabbed a different Pi that had a newer version of Octoprint. It worked fine. So then I just took out the SD, I copied all the files onto my hard drive, and I transferred them over to the other SD card and wiped out the ones that were on there. So I updated myself that way rather than trying to figure out how to reconfigure everything.
That's
I
fine.
just copied over information from one SD to another to fix problems.
Just give it a different name, so when it
And
shows up in the network, it shows up.
The new versions of Octolapse, you don't have to go in and tweak all your settings like you did in older versions that people done videos on. You can let it auto detect. I mean, you can do it manually, or you just let it auto detect, and it worked fine when it auto detected. Because I had posted on a group asking Sam and a couple people some questions about that, and John about their Octolapse, and I realized just let it auto detect, uncheck a few boxes, and it worked fine.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of setting the camera up in the right position to get it to work.
Yeah, but it's gotten better. Like before, for every job, depending on the layer settings and all this kind of stuff you had, you put the Octolapse and configure them for that job.
Yeah.
Whereas now you don't have to do it anymore, which is really makes life so much easier.
Yeah.
Because your park spot, like you had to pick your park spot, you had to pick the layer, you had to pick the. I think there's about 8 or 10 different options you have to set. Where doing auto, it just does it and you're finished.
When I first started my YouTube channel, I was doing lots of time lapses. You know, the bed's moving 100 miles an hour and you're filming
I've
it.
done those.
And then I kind of got tired of all that. And this is my first Octolapse I've ever done
And
on
get
that
dizzy.
video I just put out.
You
Well,
get
actually,
dizzy watching this.
I printed the Statue of Liberty first with supports, and the supports failed horribly. It looked terrible. So then the day of the video, I put it out. I said, well, let me find something simple. I grabbed a vase off Thingiverse, put it in spiral mode and vase mode, and done that real quick. That way I could throw it in the video.
Yeah.
And then I'd actually uploaded the video and my print got done. It's like, oh shit, my print got done. So I went and retaped showing the vase and looking at it, and I threw that in my editing software, and then I re-uploaded the second time to YouTube before I went public. It was like an afterthought, but I'm thinking I'm reviewing a spool holder and a film, and I got to have at least one print to show. So.
I'm going to upset a lot of people.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay, wait a minute.
Ordinary day.
There you go.
Not even just joining in. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the reason why is
He's gonna Ike you.
Yeah, I'm gonna like you. No. A lot of people are using this new Focus, the Odin 3F5 printer. Ike. So, there's your opening scene. No.
Nixon.
I am not a thief.
But, a lot of people like this Odin, the Odin Focus printer. I have found a series of technical and engineering flaws with it that are going to upset a lot of people. I've told them about it in advance.
Hey, Stephen.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I'm gonna pop off for a little while. I'm gonna get something to eat.
All right, man. Take care.
All right.
Cheers, man.
All right. Thanks, man.
Eat well.
Thanks you.
Stuff like on the print bed, you know, they have the heating element on the print bed, right?
The trace.
The heating trace. On the back, it's fine. On the front, it goes so close to the edge that the clips impact the trace.
Oh, that's not good.
That sounds familiar.
That sounds familiar.
It does, doesn't it, Jason?
Yeah. So that's a problem. And they try to say, oh, that's not an issue. It's only so many amps and so on. I said, yeah, but it's going to blow through and blow out your USB, and it can short through your whole system.
Yeah.
Also, it did.
I'm sure you can find some links to a video that shows that somewhere, Liam. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure. Some guy called John had a video all about that. So, I also.
Now, I think there's a manufacturer that's got a fix for that too. I believe showing how to fix it too. Yeah.
Well, the fix.
Allegedly.
The fix for this is different.
Yeah.
They would have to redesign the bed and shorten those tracks. They'd have to redo it. The other one I found was the power switch for voltage regulation. There's no outside identification to say what's voltage.
110 or 220 doesn't specify.
But outside of that, that's one thing. But the switch is actually on the main board, so you have to put something through a hole to find the switch and to move it. Now you're taking something that's possibly could short out or damage the board and introducing it into where the electronics are.
Well,
Plus,
in the
you
US,
don't know what it's set to.
If it's not marked in the U.S., you're safe because it either works or it doesn't turn on. But anywhere else in the country where you are on 220, if you're on 110, you're going to pop your board.
Yeah.
Right. He's just saying that you're jabbing
but it's
things
not marked
into the components.
Yeah. So if you buy it and you plug it in and it's at 220 by accident, someone in the production line didn't flick that switch, and you plug it in here, you let out the magic blue smoke, right?
Yeah.
And in Europe, it just won't work, and that's okay. But here, you'll burn out the board, or vice versa. If they have a 110 over there, they burn out the board.
No, here it won't burn out the board. If you set your power supply to 220 and plug it into 110, it just won't come on.
Oh yeah, it won't power up here. Yeah,
but vice versa will.
Yeah, on the other side it'll die. So.
Yeah.
Speaking from experience, for many a time, I won't comment how many PSUs are blown up because we get equipment from the US and it's set to 110 and bang.
Hey, Chris, how you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, Chris. One thing they did do is they used pearls on the electronics.
That's good.
Well, that's
they did
good.
A good job of that. So I can't take away all the credit, but I have some worries.
Reservations. There are some reservations.
And I have the review recorded. I have to edit it yet, but I'm going to try and get it out this week. The review is done in a few weeks. I just haven't had time. But
as long as they didn't crimp the ferrules over tinned wire, then they're okay.
I did actually look.
I've never seen that before.
I've never seen that. Who did that?
What's the power supply like? Because most power supplies have a switch on them. They're not auto switching. So what power supplies have got?
The switch is actually on the board inside the power.
So they bypass the power supply switch.
No.
The power supply.
No. The switch is actually on the power supply, but the switch is inside the power supply case.
Oh, it's not like side
not
mounted.
pointing
It's
outward.
you got to go. That's
Yeah.
what he was
Pointing
saying. You got to.
So you can't see it.
No, well,
Right.
most of the time the switch is pointing outwards, right?
Yeah.
So you can see it on the outside. This is like an ordinary little toggle switch, but it's standing up on the mounted straight on the board, so you don't even see it in there. You just shine a light in there to see the switch.
So now you're sticking something in there, and you can knock off some surface-mounted
You could
device or
you could damage something,
anything.
you could drop
Yeah.
something in there by mistake, and so on.
Right, scratch something up. Yeah.
So there's that risk as well. And someone would plug it in and say, "Oh, it's not working. Oh, I need to do this."
Bang.
So, they're not going to be happy with me. They know about them. They're saying that these are not issues, but they are. Sorry.
I've been bit by one.
For general consumers, they are an issue.
It's their first printer. They did a lot of things right. They didn't do everything right, but they did a lot of stuff right. They have areas they need to improve.
Kitty cam.
Yeah.
She doesn't like being held too much, but she'll tolerate it for a little
Yeah,
bit.
cats are finicky. When they decide they don't want no more, they bite you or scratch you or something.
If you're lucky, yeah.
Yep, you're done.
There you go.
Done.
That's it. Enough of that crap. Yeah.
The show's over.
So I'm going to be trying to get that video out this week. But it's okay. It prints like they have a clone of a mosquito hot end or a volcano hot end on it. Not mosquito, volcano. So it actually you can print really. It prints really good, right? As a printer, it prints fine.
Hey Dan, how you doing?
It's just there's a few technical areas they didn't just get right.
You went live on Twitch last night, Dan. I logged in like a minute later, and it's like, where's he at? He's not here. So I don't know what happened.
Thanks, Betty.
Mr. Dan.
Hey, Betty Boop, I had a comment earlier. A while back, I got a delivery on some 3D printing stuff, and they sent out this sucker, and I'm thinking, I wish my name was Pop. So you can have this when you get home. It's called a Blow Pop. But anyway, I know you like these
You're
things.
a brave man, Jerry.
Yeah.
So if the US converts to 230 volt, the problem. But see, the 110 is safer. That's why it's on a lower voltage. It's safer voltage to run on.
But you're typically pulling more amperage off the lower voltage than you do off the higher voltage.
That's true.
So it's a trade-off of one or the other, but it's either way, it hurts if it zaps you.
Yeah, I've been bit many times.
It hurts.
It sucks.
I've worked on hot power panels, but everybody's like, "Nah, flip off the main breaker." But I'll swap out a breaker on a hot panel. You just got to pay attention to what you're doing, so you don't touch the wrong thing and
as long as it's not three phase.
Yeah.
Three phases definitely wakes you up.
You're done there. Yeah.
I've got the scars. Got the scars to prove it.
If it goes beyond my wall outlet, that's for somebody else to do. It's just not for me to do.
I've rewired stuff myself.
Oh no, I can do it. It's just I just don't want to do it.
No.
So
I used to work.
I'm the DIY type, so
yeah. No, if it's my house and I got to run a plug or move an outlet or something, that's fine. But if it goes up beyond my normal house voltage or anything like that, I
work in the solar industry, so I'm doing like 600 volts.
600 volts DC, yeah, not nice, yeah.
That's fine,
yeah.
especially three phase.
Yeah, that would definitely a shock from that.
It leaves a mark. It leaves a mark.
Your choices.
Matt would understand. It leaves a mark, right? It definitely leaves a mark.
So all these people around Vegas that's getting solar put on their house, there's been many companies that do it. Are any of them 100% free, where you're not out any money out of pocket, and they do it because they make money off your panels, or you have to spend money?
Well,
I don't know.
There's lease programs. You can lease the system, so you're paying. You're still going to pay something, but
okay.
Let's say if your bill is $250 a month, and solar covers, solar will cover all of that, but you're still making like a lease payment of $50 a month or something like that. So you're still paying for something.
Okay.
Then you get all your panels and the equipment for free, and they maintain it, and it's all under warranty. It's their incentive to have the system work, so they'll keep up on it.
Are they subsidized somehow? I mean, because they can't just give you stuff free all the time.
Well, they get all the rebates. So
okay. I see.
Supposedly the government has this and that happening, but I don't. Every time they come to my gate, I just say, "I'm sorry, I'm not interested," and close the door.
Yeah.
So how does it work? I don't know the details, but how does it work that you lease the system and it goes into your electricity?
You've got a special person
Anything
popping in,
over
guys.
that you don't
He's not
consume,
sleeping.
they get, correct?
Hey,
Yeah.
Sam. How you
Oh.
Hey,
doing?
Sam, what are you doing up, Sam?
What's going on?
Utility grid.
What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, it is
late for
actually
you.
10 to 11, isn't it? It's quite late,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Yeah, how you
exactly.
guys
Yeah,
doing?
yeah.
Right?
So,
Good, man. Like the
Yeah,
haircut.
seen you with
I'm getting
your
one
dog
I'm
and
getting
your
one this week,
nice
finally,
picture
so-
you had there.
When I have a question for Sam. Why have you not done a video of the printer X head moving over and back, rocking the baby? Come on, it's easy, G-code.
Yeah, you know what? We're trying to. It's really weird. Like we had this baby, right? As you know, and
Yeah.
we're just trying to like keep it away from any kind of social media or anything kind of weird. And my wife's really kind of like,
Well, you
I
can
don't
show
want
the empty
it-
crib working. You can
yeah.
show
I mean,
the baby in the crib, just the crib.
I
That's
think
so weird. I
Clock's
mean, who does privacy? Come on,
yeah, I know. We know, you know, social pariah here, of course, but no,
weird
she's
Europeans.
But
At that
yeah,
age,
it's
they all
weird.
look the same, Sam. It makes no difference.
They do. You're quite right. You're quite right.
No gender, not gender specific. It's just a lump in
Yeah.
a blanket. So.
But it'd be fun to
Exactly.
have the y-axis move forward and backward, and have a bar coming off that attached to the crib, and you see it rocking the crib over and back.
Well, I might have a few
Oh.
spare ports with this, so you know,
you
I'm
got
sure
a
we
couple of
can.
spare extruder ports, yeah.
There you go. Now you
I
can make
got
your,
one of
your,
them.
your dirty
Take it
diaper
in.
launcher now.
Yeah. You
Smart.
should. That'd be a cool video.
Yeah,
People would watch
you know,
that.
I think he's just about holding his neck up and stuff now, so he's getting really strong.
That's
He's
cool.
like a little freaky little thing, but yeah, what can you say? You know, it's bizarre. In fact, you know what? Today my wife said to me, she said, "Listen, I've been cleaning up like around the dining room table and stuff." She said, "I keep finding all these little screws and nuts and bits and pieces." She says, please, can you just remove all the stuff that you've got scattered around the house and just
Yeah.
put it into your designated areas? So I'm like, yes, boss. So
Baby proof.
yeah,
You
it's
have
been a
to-
mad one.
once-
That's going to be a
Once you start-
4-month task right there.
once-
Right?
once you
Get down to your
start-
baby's
once you
level.
start
Magnetic
running,
vacuum to get all the bits and pieces, the screws, the M3s everywhere. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
you
don't
need a
worry.
vacuum for about
Any
6
small
months on
pieces
top.
that you can't find, Sam, your
Baby
boy
will.
will. He will.
that's it.
He'll find them. He'll crawl around and he'll bring them right to you.
And
Don't worry.
Yeah, in his
You'll
mouth.
find them in the nappies eventually.
Yeah, in his
Oh.
mouth you'll find them.
No.
So
Have you printed out the Droid mobile for the crib above the crib yet?
No, and you know what? My wife's all about correct punctuation and things like, you know, like there, and there. And you know, she was like, "Can you print something out with those and the differences between them and stuff?" And I'm like,
Wow.
"Oh my god, this baby's 3 months old. I mean, come on, you know, it's
Yeah,
we're not at that stage yet, right?"
yeah.
Priorities: Droid mobile first, worry
Well,
about the
I
language
don't, I
afterwards.
don't remember any of that from school. Everything I type is THERE. Everything.
Really.
Well, there you go.
I don't remember.
Is it there or is it there?
refuse to accept grammar.
They're over there. They're over there.
So the question, when they're that young, it's bright, it's colors. Colors is what they see, right? That's what they're interested in, stuff that's moving. They don't comprehend stuff, but like pictures or images with colors on them, that's what they
My
like.
baby mobile. I got to get put together.
There you go. See that?
Oh,
that's
wow.
that's
Oh,
the
nice.
baby mobile.
Oh, that's awesome. That's
Little
really
rocket ships.
awesome.
Yeah, all
That's
rocket
cute.
ships,
Yeah, that's cute.
So
Cool.
it's waiting for the hanger at the moment. So yeah, there you go. Nice bright
I
colours.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Perfect.
you know, the main problem's been over the last couple of weeks. I've just been working on one video and about 4 big projects, and I'm talking 20 kilo projects of filament sort of stuff.
Wow.
So it's been pretty hectic. And then of course I'm building the robot for TCT in the UK. I'm doing the rat rig video, and literally that's just finished to print. So hallelujah. And yeah, so it's, you know, I think I've just finished the video, so that's going to be heading out. You know, love it, hate it, whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, it's all good fun. It's all good fun. So
At
I
least
might
you can use the rat rig for a playpen as well. You know, when there's that bigger, just drop it inside. There you
totally
go.
right.
2 for 1.
Totally right. And of
A
course,
heated playpen.
And it's warm, heated bed, so it's
Nice
nice
and
and warm. So it
warm,
goes down on the
yeah.
bottom. Yeah, perfect.
Jason, you have one in the background, and
I do.
it's in pieces, right?
Well, yes and no. So most of that there is just stuff that I was tinkering with that I should have really left alone, but I couldn't stop. So because I had it up and running great, and I thought I'm gonna take it off Duet and I'm gonna try Clipper. So I changed all those guts around, and I thought I'm gonna change the hot end and I'm gonna play with that, and then I'm gonna do this, and then I thought
on there, you might as well.
I printed like 2 things on this really since I've put it together, and it works great, and I can't stop. So I got to just get it back together. And doing this Toys for Tots thing is, I've just decided I'm just going to let this thing run the whole bed full of just toys constantly, and just let it go, and I just got to do it.
Yeah,
I'm lazy and. I gotta stop taking things apart that are working.
Do they give you numbers for the Toys for Tots? So we want 50 of these. You just pick. You say, and they just give you the filament and off you go.
The way it works is when you fill out the form, you give them your details. You say, I can print 100 or 300 or 500 or whatever, right? And they know that you get about 40 toys per spool, roughly, because they've done this been for so long. So if we're going to do 400, they send you 10 spools.
Yep, and there's like a dozen different models you can print from the choice. You just sit there and go
and you can print a selection of them. So what I'm doing is I'm doing one printer for the flexible dolphin. One is a flexible Rex. The other will be something else. And then I'm going to
see Jason's got a horse and something else. What do you?
Oh yeah, these were just a couple of them that I had just to try it out. So it's like one is the. Yeah, like the unicorn.
Yeah, sorry.
And then like a horse and the little penguin, and there was a bumblebee.
That's just a great.
There was a bumblebee and there's a bumblebee and a chameleon that I did too, but those got those were confiscated.
So
but they're confiscated for testing purposes. QC control.
I have a little cat burglar that runs around the house and she steals things.
Yeah. Well, QC testing.
Well, I did. I wanted to make sure that they were going to print well, and I wasn't going to be printing things that are going to harm anybody. I was messaging like normally if I'm going to print something, I'm like, you print it solid. I understand walls and infill and all that. And I just started getting nervous, like. I'm going to kill somebody. I need to ask somebody questions. Liam's like, you're fine. Like,
so they give you recommendations for the layers and the infill as well.
They
the
don't
walls.
give you anything like that. But like you're normally going to do 3 to 4 walls, and because you want to make it strong, you want to do about 20% infill to make it soft, to make it sturdy. Kids are going to drop it, right?
Yes.
Or chew on it or crush it. Yeah.
If we're doing PLA, you want about 15-20% infill. If we're doing PDG, you don't need it that much because PDG can take the beating. They are 3D print. They are Joe's. The one that you have there, the penguin and so on. They are actually from Joe, 3D printing professor. He designed those.
Yeah, and those are really cute. Those little. I
printed a little frog. You can put it in a bathtub, and you kind of move it around. Its arms and legs move. But I think it was on Colts that I got that.
Yeah, but the guys, the designers, freely offer these to actually say, go have at it because it's for a good cause, right?
Yeah, Sam, a couple days ago, I remember I messaged you. I was on Mr. B's Patreon trying to find all the R2D2 files because for a video I was going to do, I wanted to print out certain parts for the video, and I asked on the group, and somebody said go to the print files section, which I did, and I tagged a lot of files and downloaded them, but it's either me or the whole Patreon thing with all the folders is really confusing on where things are.
Yeah, I mean, it really is.
It's chaos.
Yeah, you sort of need to go. You sort of need to go to the link once you've got the bit there and kind of search through the files. Or if you look on the Patreon, it kind of gives you a kind of key on how to and where to go. But yeah, it is very confusing that whole way of doing things.
Nice.
Oh, nice. I like that.
That's cute.
And I have I haven't unfolded this one yet, but that's a T-Rex.
Triceratops.
Come on. You should know better.
Mr. Science, come on.
You should know better.
It's a bit like what did
Mike's left the room.
What did Sheldon say? Sheldon said I think this is a bit like geology. You know, it's not a real science.
Sorry, I'm a geologist. Careful, I'm a geologist.
Oh no!
That's why I'm saying that, because I know you're here. And these are nice as well. These are really nice.
So you have printed your mobile, Sam. I see. Yes.
That's a mobile. That's a mobile.
This is a big boy. This is a real big boy. So I'm doing a competition with another well-known YouTuber on which is
Hang
coming
that
out.
over the crib. That'll cause some terror.
We've got a video coming out quite soon, which is it's called Small Print, Big Print, and you've just got to take it from there. And we've got a couple of videos coming out quite soon. So
that sounds like Michael. You're
no, I've got another one with no. Sorry, no. No, it's not actually. It's not. It's somebody more famous than Michael. Very, very famous. But you'll have to wait and see, of course. But I could be talking BS, right? But
well, we know it's not a tripod. He can't print anything. So,
and he hasn't even chimed in yet. So let's wait for him to drop in just about now.
Oh, he'll be sitting there somewhere.
John brings the campfire to the party.
All he does is
s'mores are optional.
Yeah, it's a shocker. It's a shocker. Cool. But yeah, we got some good content coming out, and then obviously, hopefully, when things kind of settle down and whatnot, then we want to get back into the droid building again. So that's the.
When you said settle down, you mean with the kid and stuff? That will happen when she reads. That will happen when
33 years or so.
Then she comes back.
No. I'm thinking we bring it back in. Sort of after October. So I've got a big. I did the light show, the Halloween light show, which I'm just getting prepped up for now. So I've got all the Coro and I've got a load of stuff to build for that. And then once that's out of the way, then I think we go back to perhaps looking at, maybe trying a full R2D2 or something along those lines.
Are you anywhere near Sheffield, England?
It's a couple of hours away from me.
Okay, because Kevin Sharp, which is, he's on Facebook everywhere, printing models and stuff like I do. In Sheffield, I noticed he's got a big rat problem at his house. I guess he's been going nuts trying to kill all these rats on his property. So, don't know what's going on with the rats.
Could be worse. Could be like over here with the mice.
Tell us, Sam, what's going on with the rats?
Yeah. I've got no rats. No rat stories.
Just the one behind you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Rat
and on the picture, of course.
There you go.
So
that's it. Love the shirt.
Can we compare Rat Rig to Volron? Has anybody here got a Volron? I mean, Rat Rig, Volron. What's other than you source?
Yeah.
Oh, he left. Other than, or he dropped out. Other than you have to source your own parts. You print everything yourself on a Volron. Where a Rat Rig, you buy kits. What's the big difference between the two? Does anybody know?
The Rat Rig.
Yeah, I mean, there's a significant difference, I think, between the two. The way that the cables are run, as in the belts are run and things. And I think, certainly with the bed, the way the bed works is another sort of change. But you've got to remember that the Rat Rig was based on lots of different printers and taking the best of those things, and that's what's quite unique about that whole machine, is that you pick the best of what you can afford or what you're used to working with. So I love slice engineering stuff. I love the Bondtech stuff. I don't like buying clone stuff. So, I steer away from things like the Dragon and other hot ends. And I know everyone's got big opinions and all that stuff, but I've gone with the way that I wanted to go with. And I've got no opinion on the Voron. I've not used one. I've seen them online, all that kind of crazy stuff. I'd love to build one. In fact, I was looking at doing a switch wire. So that would be the Ender version of that, which is a Core XY Ender, which is just mental. But, at the time, and I don't even know if it's correct now, Rat Rig did a 500 printer where Voron didn't, unless you modified a bunch of stuff. And what's been annoying for me about Rat Rig, it's one of the main things that annoyed me, is that I bought the Pro, then they brought out the 1.2, so then I upgraded. Then they brought out the 1.3, and I'm like, man, come on! How many more upgrades do I?
Does it have a fruit sticker on the side? That's just a question.
Sorry, Maker, we didn't hear you. Take care.
Take care, dude. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's kind of frustrating because I was like, but I think they've stabilized things, and I know obviously the V Minion's coming out as well, which is their tiny little printer. And then they're also, I believe, in the background, hopefully working on a Delta printer as well. So yeah. Oh, you got a Voron there. Wicked. Okay, cool.
That's a 2.4.
Yeah, 2.4.
Awesome.
So, based on budget, if you're not well off and you can only afford to build a little here and there, you might want to do a Volron. If you've got plenty of money, can afford it, you might want to go with a rat rig and just pre-buy everything.
BS Tech, bring up BS Tech's post there, Jerry. About charging. You don't charge, because if you charge, you are now biasing your review response, because you're being paid to review their product.
That's not a review.
So if they pay you to do it, you have an obligation of what you're going to respond, how you're going to respond to them. If you do not pay, if you do it for free, like I do, I say I give an unbiased review. They send me the machine, I'll review the machine, and it's based on the product. That's it, and there's no money involved. Because if there's money involved, now I owe them something. So I do it. There's no financial exchange whatsoever. I get the machine to do the testing on, and they get an honest response based on what I find using the machine.
Yeah, money just biases it. Even if it's perceived and not actual, it's still there. Yeah.
So, like I might even say it was sponsored by, and by if I ever say it's sponsored by means they gave me the machine to do the review. When
I do any reviews for Resin or anything, I say sponsored by. That way it plugs the company that they gave it to me free of charge. I'm still going to say what I think about it one way or another. And because of the amount of time it takes to make videos, edit videos, test things, whatever, it's not really free. And they're getting the best end of it because they're getting advertising. And you're spending hours upon hours doing it, getting it ready, days, weeks, whatever it takes to review that product.
Right.
And give an honest review. So it's not really free. You get it free in the mail, but if you're making $10, $15, $20 an hour, if you're out of business getting that, how much did that just cost? $300 or $400?
Angus from Makers Muse did a video on it last week. Exactly.
Your time exactly has a value, of its own, and whether you want to consider it equitable to the device or machine that they're asking you or product to review, it never is. Yeah.
An Auteur laser. I have a K40 I bought, but I would love to review an Auteur personally because I want to use it and make stuff with it. But if I review it, then hopefully they would give it to me free because I don't have $500 laying around to buy it. So that's why I contact. What's that?
Where's Matt going with that Voron?
He's putting it back where it came from. He moved it from the back to the front so you can see the video. He's just putting it back
in use.
So
put it in use.
So I have been offered money to take down the video. I've been offered money to delete a video and re-record it, and I always say no.
I've seen on Twitter Naomi was offered $5,000 or $10,000 to not review something for some company. They're like, "Hey, don't even talk about us. We'll give you $5,000."
Okay, so BS Tech, yes, I do. I have done beta testing, and I don't charge for that either because when I do beta testing of a machine to an OEM to give them feedback, I want to give them feedback to hopefully that they'll implement it into their product and make sure they ship a better product. Because too many people out there say this is crap, that's crap, that doesn't work, this doesn't work. If I do a review of machine and like OEM, and that's never videoed, that's between me and the OEM, it's privately done. But I'll set up the machine, I'll go through user instructions, I'll assemble it, I will test it, I will test this full height, I will test it to the extent of its build area, right?
Like Scott does. Scott Worthington, basically, and all his equipment, that's what he does. Yeah. He doesn't make a YouTube video about everything. He just tests everything in the background.
And give feedback, and I give the feedback. When I do that, I don't expect payment for it. As a user, as someone who uses 3D printers all the time, like the rest of you guys, I think part of our responsibility is to tell the manufacturer what they're doing wrong and how to fix it. And that's why I do it. It's not for money. It's me to tell them.
Let me see if I can pull in another famous person here. Not famous, but anyway.
Infamous.
Yeah.
So famous, not famous.
It's the wrong stream for famous.
Yeah.
I don't mean famous. Very well known.
I will admit I've gotten machines in the past that were so bad that I wouldn't even power them up.
Wow.
Right? And they're spare parts. That's what they become for me. I've got machines that you plug them in and they work for day one and they're fantastic. Then that's compliments and kudos to the manufacturer for doing a good machine. Yeah. But that's why I do it. I do it because I want to help the community. I don't want to do stuff. It's not for money. I hope that answers your question. So that's my pooch rant for today.
I just PM'd him on Facebook. I doubt that he'll pop in because people like notice. They like to plan things, not just spring it on. Hey, I'm live right now. You want to come in?
Yeah. Well, since Pooch is not around, I can do a Pooch right now.
Well, there's a person on screen that has an 8x10 photo of him in his back pocket. So I just messaged you guys, see if he wants to come and say hi. So.
And you know, Sam, what I have done too, some of these things that you kind of see just sitting on the bed, they're some of the parts that I reprinted, just since I had it apart for other reasons. I decided to print some of them that kind of came in little. That not that they were non-functional. Everything worked that came from Rat Rig. Everything worked well. They just looked a little under extruded, you know. So I printed a few parts, and as I take it apart, put it back together, swap a few of them out. That's why it looks so messy. It's like if I could just take an hour, I'd be done and it would be back together.
Well, yes, you're here talking with us instead.
Well, you know, I have priorities.
Procrastination supreme.
So
everybody's got to be good at something, and I delay.
I've been reviewing this printer actually, the FL Sun, and I had a problem with it, and it's not a problem necessarily with the printer. It's additional things like the BMG clone and some other crap that they put on there. And I messaged the guy and I said, these are the problems that I've had with it. A bit like what you were saying about just sort of giving feedback and stuff. And that was all very useful to them. And they said, yeah, no problem at all. Anyway, they said to me, I'll send you out another BMG and we just put these bits over to you and see what you think of them because we've made some improvements. I said, fine. So I haven't heard anything. And then I messaged the guy on Skype and said, hey, how's it going? What's the update on these parts? Because the machine is non-functional at the moment. And he said, I'm really sorry, but we've had a massive COVID-19 outbreak where we are. And I went, just leave it there. Don't I just don't, you know what I mean? I'm just, I'll just go and buy a Bombtech. It's absolutely fine.
The box turns up and Sam hits the flamethrower on it just to make sure everything dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Send it to John, he'll burn it.
Yeah.
Shenzhen is having it. Japan is having it. It's so bad right now. They are making a mandate for vaccinations there.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, before it wasn't mandated, now it's been mandated over there. And there is areas of the city, not all areas, but some areas where it's prevalent. In China and in Japan, but in Shenzhen, where most of the manufacturers are, it's pretty bad in their area right now.
Well, Wuhan, they're now going to inoculate everybody in Wuhan.
They're going to go door to door.
Door to door and do every single person now. 11 million people.
That's scary and wow.
And that's because don't they have the new
Delta there? The Delta's there
now. They have the
Lambda now.
The Lambda there now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of doing we're not doing that, but in New York now, in New York City, starting mid-August, you're required to get vaccinated to go to restaurants, indoor dining, movies, gyms.
Yeah.
So Dominic, I always say I got the machine from somebody. So I always tell
my grandson caught that second variant. My ex-wife for 4th of July came by my son's house, and I was there, and she was wearing a mask. She's like, "Oh, I haven't had the shots," and blah blah blah. Anyway, I'm not going to say what I think about all that, but anyway, he wound up catching it from her, and my grandson caught it. My daughter-in-law didn't catch it, but he finally shuck it. And they all got retested the other day, and they're all negative. But my grandson had a really severe cold, basically a cold and a high temperature, and it eventually went away, and he's okay, thank God.
Good. Yeah.
So, anyway.
Yeah, so it's...
All I can say is if you haven't had the vaccine, see this, and I'm not going to say anymore. So,
sure.
Yeah. Well,
anyway.
Everything's allowed in Florida, but have you not noticed that even including the vaccine, including the virus? Because it's exploding in Florida again.
Yeah.
So
it's exploding everywhere as it mutates, and we don't have anything. We've been playing catch up from the far end of the field.
Yeah,
I enjoy dressing like a ninja wherever I go. I look better. I'm old. I don't have many teeth, so I got a mask on. I look like a ninja. So
anything you can hide is an improvement.
That's it. Exactly.
Sunglasses and a mask. It's cool. Yeah. No worries.
Yeah, one of my coworkers, good friend, he passed away last night.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Wow.
And he was he was one of the first people to go get the vaccine.
Wow.
But the thing is everybody's different, and it just affected him different. And Yeah, I found out this morning.
Wow, sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of nobody that's had their shots that have caught the variant that have died. I've just heard of people getting sick and staying at home for a week and then they get over it. That's all I've heard of.
Unfortunately, you can still everyone's different. The symptoms are different and the effects are different on the body, especially with heart muscle damage and lung damage. It's just there's no control.
The whole thing is just a bad situation. Yeah.
Well, that killed it.
Well, that went down really fast. So
no, well, unfortunately, that's the world we're living in now.
No, look at the penguin. The penguin's cute. Look at the little penguin.
Yeah, that's it.
Sorry, guys.
Change it. Yeah. Buffett, happy thoughts. Get the unicorn out. Happy thoughts. Show the unicorn, Jason. Happy thoughts.
Yes, happy.
Yeah, happy thoughts. Happy thoughts.
Yeah. Wowzers.
Yeah.
Crikey.
We have another 12 months at least of this kind of scrap.
I'd say more than that.
It's going to be. This is going to be forever. I mean, it's eventually. I hope that eventually it'll just be like you go to the grocery store, you get your flu shot, you get your whatever else shot. They give you a $10 coupon for groceries, and it's and not everybody is so severely impacted.
Exactly.
But it's just. What is it?
Until then, you just gotta live with it and take the precautions.
Right. Yeah.
Do what you can for your own peace of mind.
Right.
Ignore what everyone else is doing, and if it works for you, do what it does for you. Yep. Get
Well,
the
last
shots, wear the
year,
mask, whatever.
When my wife came back from Pensacola last year, I didn't kiss her in the airport. When she got in the truck, I gave her hand cleaner. I said, "Here,
Yeah.
So
you have to take
exactly.
precautions, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's
And
sad,
that's everything that we do. Every door, cubby hole in the car has a hand sanitizer somewhere, and wipes, and
in your bag,
in your handbag, and
everywhere.
it's
same here.
IPA.
Same here.
Yeah, it's
everywhere. Yep.
Yeah. Just.
But you drink that. That's where's your drinking bottle of it though, Ike?
I know you don't drink. No. I don't drink alcohol. So for me to fly home to Ireland now, I'd have to drink in the plane.
You'd fail. You'd fail.
That's an Olympic sport in Ireland. What are you talking about?
Yeah, so I have to drink. I have to drink on the plane to prove that I'm Irish. So
you've got to get your blood alcohol content above 60% to be Irish.
He lost.
Otherwise, I'm not Irish anymore. Yeah.
You lost your Shamrock card a long time ago.
That's what they say about Liam. He's got a good accent, but he can't handle his beer.
We'll all make up for it.
It's been what I haven't lived there for about 25 years.
Wow.
So we can almost understand
you. Don't even belong there anymore. You're not even Irish anymore.
Yeah. It's been about 25 years now. I think it's almost 25 since I lived there. I've been there, but I haven't lived there for so long. Because I lived in Germany for years, and then in Asia, and then here in the States. So. Yeah, it's been a long time.
And I mentioned earlier, here's that shirt that I had ordered. I finally got it in the mail. Last week in my live stream, I was talking about it. And as soon as I got done on the live stream, I went and checked the mailbox and it was sitting there. So I finally got it.
Nice.
Pretty cool.
So why are you not wearing it?
It's behind me on the chair. I just have a different shirt on. It's a little bit tight. I need to lose a few pounds. I eat too much.
Yeah.
I think we all have that problem.
Oh, Sam, I ordered this morning off Amazon. It's kind of like a hazmat type suit, and I'm going to use that head, and I'm going to make a prop here in my room that will have that head in it, and the eyes are going to light up on it, and I'll put some work boots in it and some gloves, and make like a mannequin out of either 2x4s, like PVC or something to put the suit on.
Yeah. That sounds good. There's a massive crack in the background here, and I've just had a print separate from the bed as it's cooling down. So sorry, so I'm not going to take anything off. But yeah, that was the bit. I was like, "What the hell was that?"
Oh, wow.
Massive crack. No, it's all good. Okay, chaps. So listen, I'm going to head on in now and go and take the dog out for a walk and all that kind of crazy stuff. But I wanted to pop in and say hi, and hope you guys are all well, and hope you're feeling better, Jason, as well. And we will see you soon. No less.
Good to see you, Sam. Keep up the great work on the video. Tell the family we all said hi.
Thanks, guys. No worries. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab some dinner. Also, I'm starving.
Well, thank you very much, Matt, Jake,
Yeah, of course.
State Farm, for coming in. Appreciate it.
Good to see you guys. I will touch base with you soon.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye. Peace.
Yeah, I got 3 thumbs down. Well, I know where one of them came from, but not the other 2. So, yeah, I was busy reading to see what he was typing, and then I figured, yeah, it's going bam, 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 bam. So I timed him out. If he comes back, then I'll just ban him.
Yeah, I would just do it anyway after what he typed.
So, well, I didn't catch it. I'll have to. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
Well, it showed up here. It didn't show up on screen, so it won't be in the video. So, when you delete it, it won't be in the recording either.
No, it takes it all back. Yeah, wipes it right back.
Yeah, I went to YouTube and I deleted whatever his comments were to be banned. So it happens. Oh well.
Yeah, but when you ban them, it actually wipes out all our comments as well. It does it automatically. Yeah, it happened in one of my streams a few weeks ago. But I happened to got onto the screen, and I just trimmed off the end.
It was quick. It was quick. But Liam was watching another live stream about 2 hours after, and the same result. They were all American dead presidents, but the same result, doing the same thing, exactly the same phrase. So it was obviously a robot troll doing that.
Yeah. Well, I
on all live streams.
Well, I have to say I didn't have on the verbiage monitor enabled in the stream. I've turned it on since. So those words, unless they're displayed in a way that the system will not detect, will automatically be filtered out from going forward anyway. I didn't have it on because I never had a need to, but now that started, I'm blocking it now.
But it's I think it's an auto generator, but someone's doing it auto generator because I said literally 2 hours after your stream, exactly the same phrasing, exactly the same.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
With
I've got
different
Nightbot running, and I have a lot of
so.
mods that are in here. So all my mods, which are a lot of probably everybody here, can all wipe things.
Yeah. But it's I don't see any
frustrating.
Point.
Yeah.
I don't see any point. I think if you ask me, I think Google should track the IP address and block the IP address completely.
Yeah.
Now, not better still, trace the MAC address and block the MAC
the
address.
device.
Kill the device.
Kill
yeah.
it.
Well, they could actually do it. They could track its MAC address and stop.
Brick their computer like an Xbox.
Well then.
Hey, Zolan, how you doing?
Well, you could. There's ways to brick the machines.
Yeah. It's Zolan's in the same thing on downstream it was last night. Purely and simply, seems to be a rash of the same troll bots at the moment. Yeah, the same troll bots globally across different streams. Yeah.
Just don't want to waste the time.
There's no point in this.
Yeah. It's just waste everybody's time.
Yeah. So I'll be back in a second. I have to take a print off the bed and kick off my next set of Toys for Tots.
There you go.
Now.
Priorities.
Hey, actually,
do you have somebody local you dropped them off to? Liam?
I haven't checked if there is a local one, but they're a 2-hour drive from me. They're in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
So they're only 2 hours away. So I could always just before Christmas load, depending on whatever.
Just go for a road trip and drop them all off.
I could just drive it down there, and I can say hi to the guys anyway because I've spoken to him to half of them.
You can make a video out of it.
Yeah.
Can I just
film what you're doing, drive up, have your camera on, even if it's hanging around your neck, talk to them, hand them stuff, make a video out of it.
Well, they probably have a whole display inside of all the stuff that they've gotten so far. So I'll probably go in and get all of that as well. They'll allow me into their office as long as I mask up.
Within reason.
Right.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah. Maybe not if they know
obviously
it's you.
They haven't met you in person before, so
I've interviewed them. They're one of their guys on my channel in the past.
Really but that was a stream. That wasn't in person. So playing the armed guards out this time.
They're really nice guys to deal with, and I buy filament from them, and they're really nice guys to deal with. Like I bought stuff in the past, like during the pandemic, I was buying stuff off them. And I said, "Are you making PPE?" Because that was what I was ordering. And I says, "I am." And she says, "Okay, perfect. We got a discount for you." And they automatically discounted all the materials for
nice.
Shipment, you know.
Nice.
So they're good like that. They're not, and they're good people to deal with.
I jumped into their Discord today, and I was surprised, like just reading, and there was a lot of active comments going on, and I had to double check. I was like, "Wow, this is a Discord server. This is like a really nice conversation of people talking about printing and this charity, and I was like, I was very pleased to see that.
I haven't gone into Discord yet, but I will. But no, it's good. They run a good setup, and they're good people to deal with. In general, they're just really good people to deal with.
Jason, do you have a link you can post for that?
Probably I can find it while Liam goes and swaps his prints.
Yeah, go do that. I just pop them off the bed and do the next step.
In fact, I know I do. Let's see stuff.
Yeah, you can see that I got to swap my filament to get to print out another set of caps myself.
I need to rearrange my room. I've got 10 or 15 boxes on the floor underneath my desk that have been there for 6 months. I've got so much stuff everywhere. I'm not really sure how to rearrange it and clean it up, make it look tidy. I don't know. Kind of lost as to what to do.
So I put a link in the private chat,
Right.
Jerry. So I think that it may be closed for this year. I don't know. Liam may know a little bit more. But I'm certain anybody that wanted to get into it for next year could, do it. I don't know that they may still let people in. I'm not sure. But that's just a link to their page where it just talks about the Toys for Tots stuff. And then, if you wanted to check out IC3D, you can, go from there. But
they must get their filament by the ton for the amount of people that actually support that. That's a great.
Yeah.
Must get direct from the manufacturer.
Yeah, I got to figure out how to get the toys to them. I don't like. They do have.
I mean, it doesn't apply to me, but I have a look at it. They do have drop-offs in different cities and different areas. So
I mean, I don't mind shipping it to them. I wouldn't have a problem with that either. It just
2 more.
That pink's nice. Yeah. That pink's a nice color.
Are those silks?
That's a Yusu silk. Yeah.
Oh, okay. You know what? I was going to ask you about that because I have some silk spools that are that I can totally use and have no problem using.
I have a company who's sending me some of their Amazon returns on a regular basis.
And
nice. So maybe once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks, it varies a little bit. I get 1 or 2 spools and they're open spools, and some of them are open anyway. And so this green one is actually transitioning. It's a rainbow, so it's coming from this green to transitioning to the darker green because it's a rainbow spool. So every now and again, there's a slight change in the color, eventually drifting into the next color. And in the pink is actually, I got a couple of spools of this pink, and I thought it'd be nice. There's some girls like sciencey
squirrel.
So I'm doing that, and then I have one of the other printers just doing 1 spool of red, 1 spool of white, and then I'm gonna. As I said, I have a lot of different stuff, so I'm gonna just do different colors. I just vary them, and I don't know what IC3D are gonna send us, what colors or whatever, but I'll use whatever they give. But for now, I'll use what I have because they cost me nothing. That pink is actually from that silk pink is from it's Yusu company.
Hey Liam.
Yes.
This morning on your laser stream, I'd made a comment about a ComGrow laser. I asked ComGrow like 6 or 7 months ago to send me their $45 laser that goes on an Ender 3 because I wanted to do a video on it or a couple videos on it.
Okay.
And I got it. I have TH3D firmware and an Easy ABL on that with a Pet's Fang hot end. So I took it all apart, made it all stock so that I could mount it with magnets. The magnets weren't very hard. It would turn real easy. So I put Velcro around it or zip ties to hold it in place. Went into Lightburn, went into the program they recommended, went into the one that another company recommended. I couldn't find any program where I could make a G-code file that would properly work. And I spent weeks trying to figure it out with that Ender 3 to make that video. So I have the laser on an Ender 3 mounted, but I can never find anything to make it work. I understand, okay, the power would work. I can turn on the power, crank the fan all the way up and make it fire, but I couldn't find anything that would make it burn it on that Ender 3. So I don't know if it was a problem with the firmware modified from TH3D or what, but I couldn't get it to work.
It's just G-code.
I think what you need to do, I could be totally wrong, but I had watched a video recently, and I think what the way that it works on that V2 is that you have to set it up in
Pro.
Cura.
Pro. I don't have the V2 anymore.
Or either way, but the way that it works, you need to set it up as a dual extruder and give it an offset and tell it to use that other side, so then it moves G code with the laser in the right spot. So I could be wrong, but I often am. But I think maybe that's where
it could be the offset.
That might help you.
But it depends on the position of the part, right? So if you're doing a burn on something and you move it forward, you don't need the offset.
But it needs to know where to move the versus, because it's mounted right next to the print head, right? You put both on there.
Yeah, but
so it needs to be able to move one versus.
Now I have one other option. What's his name? Walter from Country 3D. He built his laser a long time ago, like an Auteur. He built one from scratch. Now, since I have this laser head, I could just buy aluminum extrusion, some stepper motors, and build one from scratch, and just make my own Auteur knockoff. Basically, since I already have a laser,
you could. Yeah,
but
you
then
just
again,
buy 2020 extrusion.
But I don't have a control board. I have to buy another control board, etc.
You have to buy a Gerbil board.
Another Gerbil. Yeah.
Well, you can buy. You don't need a real Gerbil board. You can buy one of the cheaper ones from Sainsmart that they have, or one of those other guys that have have lasers, but you can buy the control board for their laser.
Okay.
And all you do is there's S commands you can input to change the firmware, or to change the board on the main board, to change the size of the laser.
Because I just want to plug it into Lightburn into my computer, even if I got to run a cord, and I just want to control it with Lightburn. I don't want to have to mess with an SD card and configure it in and push buttons. I just want to run it like a K40.
Sure, when you're doing that, you need to make sure that you don't have you turn the computer into presentation mode, so it no longer falls asleep when that's sitting there. Because if it falls asleep, the USB goes asleep, and when the USB goes asleep, your comms to the machine goes down.
Hey, Dan, can you post the link, please?
$17. That's not bad.
Yeah, you can get a GRBL where it has a board that can load GRBL. All you need is an X and Y axis.
Yeah, I didn't know you like that, Dan, but I know that Walter had quite a while back. And I do have the laser sitting around, and I don't have the money to go out and buy an Auteur, even though I have a K40. I want something that's a bit larger, more portable, and I can quickly bang things out. So I figured, well, no one's going to send me one to review, that I can build one with the laser I have.
Yeah. So ideally, you should be outputting from Lightburn a G-code file, and that's what you run on your printer.
Yeah, I've done that. I've tried it, but I couldn't get it to work properly. So there's something I'm not doing or not saying.
Where is your laser plugged into? Is it plugged into the
fan header?
Which one?
The controllable or the always on?
Is it the fan in the front?
It has to be the controllable. That way the laser's not.
Yeah, it has to be the part cooling fan.
Yeah,
because the changing of the speed of the fan is what it uses for changing the power of the laser.
And then I made a plug, but I haven't installed it. That's got a Y on it, so you don't have to open up the board and unplug it and plug it back in if you want it to be a 3D printer.
That's the right way to do it.
Outside of the printer, you just unplug it, one or the other.
That makes sense. Yeah.
But Dan posted a link there of a board.
Okay. Thanks, Dan.
So, but yeah, like that should work. I don't know why you're having so much problems with it. It should work as that, because you're basically mapping X and Y coordinates in there as well, what the G-code file is, and then the power rating should be the fan speed setting.
Will that board work with Lightburn, Dan, or if you're not sure, I'll read up on it.
If you can load Gerbil on it, it should work.
Yeah.
But, hey, Liam, flipping back to IC3D real quick, do you know, are they still accepting people to print for this year, or is that cut off? Okay,
it might be done.
I wasn't sure
because they said you were selected. Remember?
Right.
So it might be closed. I'm not sure.
Here's what Zolan had to say.
If you can email them. It's worth a try. Right. Email them. Mary or one of those on there, and if they can add you, they will, because they're not shipping product out to the end of the month.
Right. Yeah, I saw that in the.
Yeah, in the email. Like I told him I'd print some, like a couple of hundred of pieces, like, and that's going to be easy. If I do 6 or 7, like right now I'm only testing with one part on the bed,
right?
Inside, But if I when I start doing multiple pieces on the bed,
Yeah.
it'll just print them all, and it'll be doing it'll be doing double the amount. So if I line one half,
Oh, yeah.
Dan, could you stop in and show us what you built? Do you have time, or show me what you built?
Yeah, I've seen Dan's one. He has it behind him in his printer room or garage room or whatever it is. Yeah, I've seen it there. He's got it all sectioned off. He's got a board around it, so you don't.
Did you build that based off what Walter had done, or you seen it somewhere else, Dan?
That's Dan to jump on.
I just did.
Yeah,
he's checking with his wife to see if it's okay if he gets online.
Getting Dan online is not the problem. Asking his wife to come join him to prove she's real, that's the hard part.
Well, he was on Twitch last night, and I wanted to watch him. And he said he just went live, and I get on there, and it's like, okay, I scrolled all the way forward on the video, and then it was not. I guess he dropped back off or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He could be in testing, but yeah, we've given Dan a hard time for a long time because every time he's be talking about his wife and Samantha, and we'd never see her. And so we are always saying that she's not real, that she's we are.
Yeah, she used to pop on occasionally. He should sit on his lap and talk to us.
Yeah, but we just give him a hard time because it was fun, and he can take it. So. So yeah, so thanks. Maybe
if I could learn a little bit more about what he did with this board, they're only $16. I can order one right now.
Yeah, I'm wondering, will that work in my K40?
I want to know if this will work on with Lightburn.
I think if it's Gerbil based, it should, or if it's G code based, it should. But I'm wondering if I can get one. Like the only reason why I'm not going to Lightburn right now. Okay, so it's got 2 steppers and it's got a nano. So that's what it's using, the Adreno Nano. That's the USB board that's on it.
Doesn't have a lot of ratings. Wait, that's a thumb. Oh, that's just another picture.
Hey, the rating is by Dan.
Top review.
I feel that you're being used
manipulated.
as
Right.
a wild.
Is that an affiliate link, Dan?
Here's what Dan says. He says, I have another laser that I got in a kit and had received just a laser module and needed a controller for it. I saw this one and figured, why not? I am glad I did buy it. It was easy to install, and Lightburn picked it right up. There's my answer.
There you go.
I do wish there was some basic instruction with this, but after a little Google and YouTube, I was able to find out what I needed and get it installed for my application. I would recommend it to anyone looking for a simple to install and easy controller that works with Lightburn. Awesome. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for your review. I'm going to buy one right now.
It's an affiliate link. He said he admitted it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care if it's an affiliate link. I have affiliate links to Amazon too.
He's back.
I will definitely click.
What'd you have, Llama?
I had stuff stirred in a pan with hamburger and noodles.
Oh.
Yeah, stuff.
I basically call it
Today's mystery meat is
stuff.
Stuff. No, I basically call it homemade hamburger helper. I just take vegetables and throw them and chop them up and throw them and cook them in oil and add hamburger and noodles and a little beef.
Nice.
Stir it in the pan. It's freaking awesome. I make it a couple times a month. And it's really good. And it uses up all the leftover crap in the refrigerator.
That's the best thing about it. Yeah, bubble and squeak. Liam knows bubble and squeakers. Hey, Liam.
Hey, Dan, if you don't want to drop in, shoot me some
Bubble and
pictures
squeak.
on Facebook or let me know what else you ended up buying, how many steps, your 2-steppers and other information so I can compile some parts so I can build one and I can take this Comgrow laser and put on it if you have time. If you could PM me some stuff, I'd appreciate it. Or email me, either way.
Oh, I'm printing another thing, Jerry, that you might be interested in.
No.
Yeah. Let me bring it up here on my screen here.
Nothing you do is interesting.
Thank you. See this? This
You know I love
There's
you.
a spring.
Yeah, I
a
do,
spring. A
No,
box.
no, it's not a spring. It's a hand-operated chuck rotary device. So, so you basically the pieces here are actually moved in and out through the rotary by hand turning this coil.
Oh, for the lathe
Okay.
K40.
So
Okay.
for a rotary, it's like a CNC chuck.
Yep.
So you put the part in there and then you tighten it into place,
Tightening collet.
and then you have a stepper motor that rotates it. So you can do you get a rotary, but it's a chuck style rotary rather than
Hey, Dan.
part to spin the part. So you have
Nice.
something that's too light that will not go into the normal rotary. You can fit it in this, and it will actually clamp it in place, and you can do your orbital laser engraving.
Awesome.
I'm the old one out. I need a haircut big time.
So how you doing? What's going on? Oh, the one hanging on the wall. I've seen that before, and I didn't really know why it was hanging there.
Yeah, I got two of them. I've got the one that came as a kit. It's the Alex Maker, the A3. That's this one. But this one back here is the one that I was kind of goofing around with. I got the laser module and had stepper drivers from another, just 3D printers and stuff you tear apart. I had the stepper drivers and stuff from that, and I basically copied the way they run the kinematics off of this one, the way they have it set up, where the belt basically lays flat in the extrusion channel, and then it goes underneath the roller, up over the motor, and then back down underneath the roller to the other end, and it's clamped down at both ends. And then basically your motor is walking along the belt rather than driving back and forth.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Instead of having the belt pull it back and forth, it's walking down the belt back and forth. So I basically took that same idea and did that, and I made that one. It's a little bit smaller. Once I got everything plugged in, hooked up, and got it working, I realized that diode laser, there's actually something wrong with the diode. Whether I move it up or down, it doesn't matter. It's not a pinhole. It's kind of elongated. It looks almost flat, almost like it's like a line rather than a dot.
That could be your lens in it. Take out the lens.
Well, I've tried moving it up and down. I've tried moving the material closer, moving it away. I've tried adjusting the laser. No matter what I do, it's always, even when it gets down as fine as it can get, it's still like a little slit. It's not like a pinhole.
Yeah, your lens may have shifted. If you open up the end where the laser is on, well, it's unplugged, obviously. Your lens is sitting in there could be damaged or could be scratched or.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I haven't tore into it more than, like I said, I moved the material up and down to get it closer or farther away from the laser to see if that would help. Because I know a lot of guys said, what is it, like 70, right? Like 70 millimeters or something.
Dad can't afford batteries to change the time. That's why.
All right. So I can look at some pictures online
and set it.
Yeah, but hey, Alama, one thing about it is it'll be the correct time twice a day.
That thing is actually moving. It's just not moving at the proper time, apparently. Because here.
You really shouldn't do that. You should use the little thingy in the back, but that's
jeez.
Well, you can those super cheapo ones. It'll
there you go.
Years or some crap.
Yeah.
So what happened with Twitch last night? I logged on and you were already gone. You were only on for not very long.
Just a short. It was only a short one last night, wasn't it, Dan?
They are rectangular in shape, correct, Ben? But they're a very small rectangle.
Yeah, the diode laser, the Congo sent me. You adjust it by hand, the focus on it, but I haven't. Like I said, I haven't used it. Other than I know it works.
They've done that in the past.
So what do you do? Look into it?
They weren't fixed focus, and you can actually dial focus.
Only once.
The new ones now, some of the newer ones have an adjustable Z, so it's just as easy to do a fixed focus laser and move the Z up and down.
Here. See how it's set up where the belt goes under this wheel, it comes up over the motor and then back down under.
Right. Yes.
And these parts are 3D printed parts that I actually found a kit online. I can't remember where it was, Jerry. I'll look for the link and send it to you if you want to just 3D print the parts. Okay. I did these in ABS and they seem to be working just fine. I mean, it doesn't have any issue. It's just making sure you
would work just as well. Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure you get your motors moving in the right direction. You might have to flip motor wires, but all in all, it was, I mean, this thing, it was 2 pieces of acrylic, a couple spacers, some screws and that. I plugged everything in. I use the same power supply that one uses, so I still have to get a power brick too, which I'll get you the info off the power brick so you know roughly what it's using.
Yeah, I have so much extra parts. I probably have most of the stuff laying around.
Yeah, you probably do.
Yeah, I'd appreciate it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll get you some pictures of what everything looks like, and I'll send that all to you as well.
So basically, all it is 2 stepper drivers and.
Will you do that? Will you do that today? That's an important question.
Yeah, give me a little bit. I'm working on something for the missus real quick. You guys were talking and asking a bunch of questions. I figured rather than trying to type real quick while I'm trying to go over there and work on something, I'll jump in and talk for like 2 minutes, and then I can pop out and go back to working on stuff for the wife. Keep her happy. I've been.
Yeah, be sure you post your link to your channel in chat. If anybody doesn't know, DB3D Dan, he builds, he does just about a little bit of it, anything and everything. He streams constantly. He's on Twitch. He's a great guy. Go join his channel. Like, subscribe, share.
Yeah, he's twitchy.
Yeah, I'll drop a link in chat here, but I'm gonna get going though. Like I said, I gotta get back to working on stuff for the wife because we all know happy wife, happy life, and Lord knows I want to sleep in the house tonight.
Sleep with one eye open so long.
Thank you very much. You have a great day, sir.
See you, Dan.
Cheers, Dan.
See you guys later.
Cool.
Yeah. No, you could probably build one of those. Look at that face.
That's not a right face.
No,
he's not printing anything. He's not happy.
Yeah, we are not amused. We are not amused.
I'm full.
What you eat?
Are you stuffed?
Yeah, what do you have for dinner? Pineapple pizza?
He had stuff.
Pineapple
pizza. He stuffed himself with homemade stuff.
Yeah.
Yep, pretty much. The only thing I didn't do was make the pasta. I haven't done that in a while. I need to start making pasta again.
I've never made homemade pasta.
It's good.
It's good.
It takes 2 minutes to cook. It cooks a lot faster, and it takes the sauce better as well. Sauce clings to it much better.
It's good.
And it's just awesomeness. Homemade pasta is just awesome.
It is. It's really good.
I got a crank out in the garage in a box, but I've never tried to make it.
Dude, it's stupidly easy. It is time consuming.
I love fettuccine, chicken and fettuccine. I made homemade. I bought noodles and then I made the sauce homemade, and fettuccine. I love it.
The good thing is with the homemade, you can batch make it and just put it in the freezer. It thaws out and comes out just as good as the fresh stuff.
Yeah,
I make it. It's great.
I bought some fettuccine and
generally because it don't last long enough.
I was at the Walmart a couple days ago in the frozen section. I bought some fettuccine that had shrimp in it. You nuke it in a microwave for 7 minutes. Really good.
Good.
Yeah.
Microwave pasta.
We used to call it
with shrimp, microwave shrimp.
It wasn't chewy. It was good.
No. That is no in so many forms.
For years and years, I would have clams. What's it called? Clam chowder.
Oh,
clam chowder. If you heat it up on the stove, the clams are tender. For many years, I threw them in a microwave, and I would microwave my soup, and I could never understand why the clams are so damn chewy.
Yeah.
That's because a microwave did it. You heat them up on the stove, it'll be a lot hotter, and they won't be chewy. They'll taste right.
Yeah, but the microwave cooks them from the inside out, so it toughens the meat, whereas in the pot, it just heats them the outside in, so they stay nice and that's it.
The actual clams absorb the heat before the milks and potatoes and everything do. So you're basically overcooking the clam before everything else is hot.
Yeah. What we used to call stuff like that when you have microwave meals.
Alading.
We used to, as kids, we used to nickname it Chernobyl chicken.
Chicken,
In our case, it was dinner Alading.
Alading, that one too.
Dinner Alading.
And when everybody
I never heard that one before.
When everybody here was a kid, it was called a TV dinner.
And you do know that.
Yeah, we used to eat a lot.
Yeah, ours came from the oven. We didn't have a microwave. Yeah.
Well, everything was all cooked for us, right? But we didn't have a microwave till I was in
1976, 1977. I think was the first microwave.
Yeah. We had the big Amana that was like monster, and the actual microwave was only about this big, and it was solid and cast iron and made a lot of noise. And
it'll heat the house from the leaking radiation.
Yeah. Oh, what's funny is literally the week we got it, my mother almost threw it out because a neighbor 5 houses down
TV getting on the
They
drink.
just got
aluminum in
one
it.
at the same time, and she thought she could dry her dog in it.
Oh.
Oh,
She had a
no.
little purse puppy. and
Well, you
put the
can.
dog-
You can.
Put the dog in the
Live
microwave.
afterwards.
It'll
It'll
dry.
dry him
It
right
will
out
dry.
for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Right.
And we're all like,
A bit crispy
"Lady."
on the inside, but it will dry the dog out. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
we didn't actually say anything to her. You know, you feel bad. She was, she was like in her 80s already. And that was in the 70s, or it was mid 70s, I think, when we get the microwave.
It's
Anyway,
stuff that is now.
you wanted to look at
The
her and
worst
say,
part is they come
would
out
you
chewy,
put
like
your-
the.
would you put your dog in a real oven to dry it?
Well,
No. Why would you think a microwave oven would be a place?
Technology-wise, I don't quite understand how it works.
And
That's
Hey,
the-
Liam, that's going to be my way in,
Oh,
Liam.
yeah.
I'm gonna build that homemade laser printer with that Calm Grow Hot in. I'll do a good video on it, and then other companies might watch it and say, "Well, wait a minute, ours is better than that. Here, try ours." That'll be my way in.
That's a
You
good
need to
option.
do a bad job, and you'll be right. Yeah.
The one thing everybody makes a mistake about, people don't like microwaves because of the radiation. They say all of this stuff.
But it's not.
Because your cell phone gives off more radiation than a microwave
it
does.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
the whole
not. It
rumors
just
about brain
excites.
tumors and all that.
Yeah.
All a microwave oven does is
It
everything
excites
has-
the air.
It's water.
It
Water.
doesn't excite the
Yeah.
air. That's wrong, actually.
Water molecules.
Well,
It
the
excites
moisture
the
in the
water
air. Yeah.
molecules in
Yeah.
the meat.
Okay.
It vibrates the water molecules, which creates heat, and that's how it cooks it.
Yeah.
Right. So there's no and you ever look at the door of a microwave, you see all these little holes in the door.
Hmm.
The frequency of the microwaves are so large that they can't pass through the door because of that little net.
The wavelength's too big
The
to
wavelength
cross
is too
over.
big,
Yeah.
and that actually acts like a Faraday cage and absorbs it, and so it can never leave the microwave.
Mhm.
So a lot of people don't understand.
We just had a microwave burn up.
Sorry,
Magnetrons will
We just
burn.
had a
They will burn
microwave
up. Yeah,
burn up the other day.
yeah,
They
they
were
will do that.
posting on Facebook or Twitter or something.
oh, they can. Yeah, the electronics can fry.
Magnetrons
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
the
fail.
electrons will
electronics
burn
went
up
up.
for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
but
can.
I'm just saying, it's not all it does is excite water molecules and actually cause it to vibrate, which creates the heat.
Yeah.
We don't want to know, Zylon, what your other means are. We know what your other means tend to morph into.
Drying. No, let's say the hope is not drying dogs.
Yeah. The only saving grace, it's too heavy to put on a drone, so we're safe. This microwave gun cannot be carried for the moment. We're safe and so on for that one.
The best way to check is to leave the microwave. Just throw it through the glass of-
That'll work. If the
Make a
bacon
video,
cooks, you're
Jerry.
done.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I think Dominic needs to do a video of that one.
That's
Right,
it.
you can put 4 or 5 strips there.
Yeah. I'm out of bacon. I'd show you what it would look like.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, it makes a change from just putting them on the head and going outside in the Nevada sun and baking them that way.
There's that too.
Oh, it's right sledgehammer. That would work.
It's 105 out right now. If my head was flatter on top, I could do a video where I crack an egg on my head and stand there for 5 minutes. If you watch the egg sizzle, get it over easy.
But the bacon will work better
Before
in stick.
before it
The
cooked
bacon
the
will
egg.
stick. It wouldn't fall off. Yeah, use the
There
bacon
used to
instead.
be an old ad about harp beer. I don't know if you know harp beer, right? But there used to be an ad about harp beer, talking about and it was a guy in the desert, and he was talking about. He said he was out in the desert. He's saying, it's so hot here, you could fry an egg in the stones here if you had an egg. And then the ad went on saying you could definitely sing a pint of harp if you had a pint of harp. I was advertising, but I wonder if we could do that. We could change that around to talk about doing the egg on Jerry's head.
Let's try it. Let's crack an egg on Gary's head and send him outside.
Yeah.
Are you volunteering, Jerry?
Well, you guys keep talking about head. I'm getting kind of excited sitting here. But
Oh no.
Well, it was bad
yeah,
enough.
that blow pop from my wife.
Oh wait, Betty Boop just said her flight's delayed a week. Darn it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bummer.
Yeah, I'm really upset. I told him the other day, I said, do you know that we talk more on the phone every day now that you've been gone than when you're here?
He hasn't told her yet, but he's cancelled a flight back already.
Yeah. I spent the
Turn
money
up.
on
Sorry, your flight's been cancelled. Yeah.
I spent the
Right,
money
way
on
things have
3D
been going,
printing.
her flight might be
The more filament. He got some more
Well,
resin in.
They do say absence makes the heart grow fonder. So,
But for what? That's what you got to worry about.
I didn't go there. You did.
Someone had to. And it wasn't me for a change.
I opened the door. What happened?
That's it. You opened the barn door.
You were lucky I didn't actually jump in on the stream. I thought it'd be sedate that time in the morning, Liam. This morning we just watched it.
You should
I
have.
think that was worse. The fact I was up at that time watching it, watching the live stream for that.
You should have jumped on. It would have been fun.
The stuff.
It went really well this morning, though. The stream went really well.
No, it was good.
Yeah, it was a good stream.
I liked it. The footprint's so small for the output. It's a nice little.
Yeah, it's a nice little machine. I'm going to try and work with them to see if I can get more, if I can do more of their stuff. I know, like they were talking about doing the
That sounds about right, Solon.
What did you say? In Reno, at a bunny ranch. There is green screening.
In 1993, I went to Pahrump, where they have that ranch we're talking about.
Allegedly.
On New Year's Eve, 1993, I went there with a friend, and I was going to pay for him. And once he got there, he was embarrassed and didn't want to partake in anything. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't like it at all because it's like wham, bam, done, pay. I didn't like it at all. So
That's his part-time job. He's a piano player there.
Anyway.
So, yeah, no, that laser's not bad. But they were talking to me before the laser. They were talking about giving me an extension kit for my CNC. But the problem is their extension kit will not go on my CNC because I don't have one of their CNC machines. I've got a different brand, and their extension kit wouldn't work. Because they were talking about giving me the extension kit to go from the 3018 up to the 3040, or the 4030 is what they call it. And then they also have an extension from the 4030 to a 6060. So
keep reminding Tim about that.
I did, and I did it last week. He says, "Don't."
It's gonna drive him nuts. It's gonna drive him nuts.
No, he already bought the 4030 extension.
I know. And then you have to keep telling him about the 6060 because he'll do it.
Yeah, the 8040 and the 120 and the.
Well, tomorrow night on his stream, I'm going to say, Tim, you haven't got the 6060. You need to. You're getting huge discounts now. It's a 10-year anniversary sale.
There it is.
Go buy it now while you can at a good discount.
Oh my gosh, that will eat at him.
More.
Oh my gosh, that will eat at him.
I know. That's why I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Actually, Dan, it was $100. Now I got half of what I went there for. So anyway.
Yeah, Ben seems to understand the pricing system quite well.
So it was $100 for 1 minute and 10 seconds. Gotcha.
Yeah.
And about 60% of that was walking up and down the stairs, right?
No, actually, I was drinking. What was I drinking? Gin and tonics. Quite a few gin and tonics before I drove out there, and I couldn't finish what I started, so it lasted longer than a minute. At the point of I give up, I'm done. So anyway.
Oh, that's bad.
And on that note, on that bombshell. Yes. Well, this has been a diverse topic today. That's for sure.
Yes, absolutely.
See, here's the conversation on its way down.
No, we
talking about 3D printing. Hey guys, how's it going?
No, remember he couldn't finish. It was on its way down.
Just like Blue Origin, right up and right back down.
Yep, up and down. Ride the wave.
I'm Jerry.
But never reached orbit.
What's going on? What are you printing today, everybody? Hey, what's going on?
Quick change of topic. Let me bring in the laser and show it to you while we're here.
Awesome.
A lovely pair of avocados.
I like that song. Stacked them in a row.
Okay.
I've got a lovely bunch of avocados. See them all dancing in a row.
Avocados or coconuts? Okay.
No, avocados are much more comfortable in the hand. Comfortable in the hand.
I'll take your word for it.
So it's fixed focus.
Yeah.
It's got your board. So this is a test fire board. Now the one thing this is test fire, but if you push it, it stays on. I would rather it if you push and held, it stays on, and when you release it, it doesn't. But it does. It's a micro switch that's on or off. So that's why
it's not momentary. It needs to be momentary then.
Yeah, and it's not, but it's okay. Everything's well marked. Look, and even on the outside, what cable's what.
Yeah.
And you can do an offline controller, as you see here. You can plug in an offline controller.
What does that do?
It allows you to put your files on an SD card and hit play without having the computer connected to it.
Oh, okay. Is it similar to like that little handheld thing that like on Tim's little CNC, something like that? Okay.
Yeah, their offline is a bit bulkier, and the R-Tour one is smaller. It's like a small iPhone.
Okay.
Touchscreen, whereas their one is a bit clunkier, but it works. So who cares? But it's a nice little thing. It's not a bad. These are acrylic. These are all acrylic.
Probably doesn't really need to be much more than that, right?
Because there's no real weight in it. Like I would say 1 or 2 pounds at most. Maybe a little bit more, but it's very, very, very light. And it's mobile. So it even has an unused port here, which I'm not sure is for, but there is an unused port in there.
Well, that wouldn't be good to take to Murph because they're not going to let you burn in the building probably with all the smell.
No, I wouldn't bring this to Murph, no. Actually, there's 2 unused ports. There's a larger one and there's a small one. There's a small one down here as well that's not being used for something. So I don't know what that is.
Maybe it's just a stock production board that they just bought.
Oh, I'm sure that
rather than designed,
like all these things are they're nanos or they're Adreno boards of some form.
Okay.
I'm sure if I take it off, I could probably see on the underside what it is. But these are just Adreno boards, is all they are, because all they are is move an X distance, right? Which Adrenos are ideal for. So, and it's really light and it's very compact. There was 6 screws. 2 for here to mount the X-axis on, and 4 to mount on the laser. That's it.
Nice.
And it is.
Yeah, it went together really quickly, except for when you routed the cables into a dangerous place. But
that's nothing. It's a quick unplug and replug. So
right.
I wanted to move them because I didn't want them to interfere with this action moving. So they kind of got wrapped around to them. But that's a small thing, you know.
That's what she said.
It did look like
at the ranch.
Well, then you have other problems, Kieran. It did look like there was a compensating, but I think.
But as Zolan says, he doesn't need to be on the stream. Jason and myself are here to make up for it.
That's right. We'll take care of it.
We'll fill the void.
No matter how deep it goes.
Or in my case, how shallow the water is. It's okay.
Liam, what laser was that? Ben's wondering. You did a video on it this morning.
This is the Sainsmart Jinmitsu LE1620.
Wow,
that was a mouthful.
It sells for what?
Did you just read that off of something? Or
$300 is what it is.
Yeah. Came in a nice small box too. The box was well packaged.
It comes
very well packaged.
Small packaging. Everything's well packaged. It takes 6 bolts to assemble. So there's 2 bolts that go on here to hold on the X-axis, and then right here, there's 2 bolts you put in here, and then there's 4 bolts to put on the laser, and then you connect up 3 connectors, which is 1 is your X-axis, and then the other 2 is the laser and the laser fan, which you have to plug in underneath here. These 2, and that's it. Then then you plug it into your computer, install Lightburn, and you're done.
For that amount of money, it's a pretty small build area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 160 by 200 millimeters. Hence,
but I mean, they seem like if you were to drop, I don't know, $30-$40 on a piece of extrusion, or if you had one around, you could just make it larger, easier.
Or you could just buy a unit that's already bigger, not have to buy something and then looking into modifying it.
You could do that, but they do have a larger one, which is about 400 as well. They do have
depends on your needs,
which is the same as the that's a 1620, but they do have the larger one, which is similar to the Laser Master 2. The
5 watts. It's 5 watts.
5.5 watt.
5.5 output. Yeah.
Output. Yeah. So the output power is here. So with it's a 455 nanometer laser. So it's a blue laser. But 5.5 watts out is probably 20 watt input is what it is.
Is that an LE1620?
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah, Zolan shared the link. Thanks, Zolan.
Yep.
And if you go look at their lasers, they do a larger version of this, which is the square frame one, the 400 400 by 400, which is similar to the Laser Master 2. So they do have the larger lasers up there.
The Z goes up and down. Oh,
yes, you have
you can adjust it for your build plate.
It's manual though, right?
You have a Z adjusting here.
The Z goes up and the head goes up, both of them.
No,
but the Z's manual, or
the Z,
that's the focus.
It's a fixed focus laser, so you can change the focus. There's no adjusting here for the laser underneath.
Wow,
so what you do?
I'm looking at that, thinking about Betty Boop.
Now.
So you can move the laser up and down just by changing the style.
Was it the pin size laser that? Never mind.
The small pill point, yeah. It must have been.
Crap.
There it is. It's
200 by 116.
16 centimeters by 20 centimeters. Hence the 1620. But it's a nice machine. It works.
7.9 by 6.3. It's not even the picture size. 8.5 by 11.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, but they do have a larger laser. If you're looking for something with a bigger area, they do have something that's 400 by 400. That is the that one is it's in their list. I think it's probably similar price to the Art Tour machine, but it's a fine little machine and it works. So, and it's really mobile.
Hey, Liam, do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, it's Astro Printer.
Yes.
Let's go youtube.com/Astro Printer. That's my channel.
He streams every Wednesday night. He does reviews all the time. And you might, and then here's his alter ego right here, Ben. And what that means, Liam, I called him that a long time ago, or Ike. Ike stands for I know everything. So.
It could be worse. I could know nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I have what I say about that is that people who go around thinking they know it all, it's really annoying to those of us actually do.
Right.
Well, it's more for what is discussed on his YouTube channels. The conversations are varied and they go into all sorts of tangents.
Well, that's for the Hangouts, yeah. And on the Hangouts, it's varied because we all have varied interests, and my interests go way beyond just 3D printing. I'm into CNCs, I'm into lasers, I'm into 3D printing, I'm into astronomy, I'm into physics, and all types of science.
That's his channel right here.
Well, just do youtube.com/Astro Printer as one word, like you have there, like you see my name there, Astro Printer, and that'll bring you straight to my channel.
There is only one.
Thank God.
Yeah, that's what she said.
What I do is every Wednesday I do Hangouts. So thank you, Ben. So Wednesday I do Hangouts at 7 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. I do Hangouts where makers can come in and talk and chat about what they're doing and talk about the project. And we sometimes diverse into physics and astronomy because and space and rockets and stuff, because that's the big thing that's going on right now, right? And I'm into all that kind of stuff. And then but I do on Saturday mornings I do unboxings of printers when I get printers. So I should have another one next Saturday, at 11 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, and that if it is what I think it is, it'll be the CR10 Smart. I'll be doing next week because
Ben Brady lives down in Texas. He's a retired judge. He has tons and tons of designs on Thingiverse. He's on a lot of the big tree tech groups and different groups. He just designs a lot of things. He knows a ton about Marlin and software. He doesn't stream that much because his cell reception is on his cell phone. He don't have good internet where he lives in Texas, so he has popped in on streams, but he don't stay long because his connection sucks.
Well, you're welcome to join mine anytime you want to, Ben.
Did I summarize that pretty much right, Ben?
If Liam lets me on, he'll let anybody on, so there's no standards on
YouTube. Have you seen the videos? Hey, Liam, have you seen the videos?
Right?
Have you seen the videos on YouTube where guys singing happy birthday and he's got a cowboy hat on, he's singing happy birthday to you with a guitar? That's Ben Brady.
I haven't, but okay.
All right.
Maybe he was only singing to you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Wow.
Sorry, Ben.
And he does have a YouTube channel.
But yeah, so we try to keep it mixed up because it gets more interesting, right? If you stick with one topic only, the conversation is very limited.
Yeah.
So the more you branch out, the more options you have. And we all have varied interests.
We learn stuff. I learned stuff. I learned stuff all the time.
We don't stick to 3D printing, right? So we all do other stuff too.
Yeah.
Some of us have other lives, fortunately.
Well, yeah, as I said, physics and astronomy and stuff is a big thing for me.
I think he's a 3D printing Texan on YouTube. I think.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I do like outreach for NASA for JPL. I do community outreach for them. So I'm into the science and stuff. I like to explain the science. So I have that diversity, and I'm into astronomy because I have multiple telescopes on my channel. If you look at my channel, there's a short video there. The audio is atrocious. I'm sorry, but it shows some of my telescopes that I have.
Hey Ben, post a link to your YouTube channel if you would. I just modded you, made you a mod.
I've got it here, Jerry. I've got it here.
Okay, put it in private chat so I can show.
Yeah, just check it. Yep, just to check it.
Yeah. I'm just a nerd.
You're the destroyer of fun and sarcasm with your fucking facts.
I only do that to you, though. I only do that to you.
Yeah.
Because it's fun, because you react to it.
Stupid science and facts.
If you didn't react, it'd be no problem. The 3D printing text. No?
Fun and sarcasm with his stupid facts.
Ruins everything.
I mean, really, facts. Reality. Who wants to hear about that crap?
I'm in Michigan, so I'm not in Columbus, but I'm not far from it.
Here's a picture of Ben Brady on his channel when he was a lot younger. This was 2 years ago.
Oh, I've seen him on channel. I've seen him.
Yeah, I've seen him before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The name didn't click.
I don't see his happy birthday video.
Click on videos.
Because it was just for you, Jerry.
Yeah, you're special.
Yeah, I don't see it listed.
No. GTX.
We gotta figure out a way to make this thing hold the goddamn blade.
Anyone near Columbus, Ohio Micro Center?
Oh, they have some.
Are you sharing, or are you looking for somebody to pick one up for you?
I know a while back when my Ender 3 Max. Yeah, I needed the board. I needed the board.
Got another channel. Just another channel there, Jerry. That was his general one.
Ah.
Ah.
That was Gentleman Ben's channel.
The right person, wrong channel.
Damn it. Gotta figure out a way to hold it.
Let me check out something. Let me see who subbed first of all.
Post a link, Ben. I'll pull it up. Yeah, my Ender 3, my CR10 Max, I needed a board for it when I first got it because the one in it died. Micro Center had them reduced for like $29. And there's not a Micro Center in Las Vegas. So I got on YouTube asking people, anyway, I wound up going to Amazon. I paid like an arm and a leg. But at the time, they were closing them out. They wouldn't ship them. It's local pickup only, but we don't have a Micro Center here.
Tech, where are you based? Where in Michigan are you? I'm in Michigan also. Oh, Ben just showed his other channel.
Yeah, the other channel.
Yeah. So BS Tech, where are you based? Where in Michigan are you?
We don't know.
We just lost somebody. Who did we lose?
Kieran. But he's trying to pop back in, but I'm not seeing his face yet. It says device not connected. Yeah, here we go. This one, he took a shower and he combed his hair and everything in this one. Here we go. Let's see if we can hear it.
Well, today's your birthday, and I'm here to say, I hope you have.
Am I going to get demonetized?
Probably.
I don't know. It depends.
Every time I show anybody's video, I always get demonetized, and I have to go back and edit it. So
Just throw a link to it in there, and everybody can go to it if they want. They got an idea now.
But it's
started out really well.
Yeah, every time I do that, I show a video. It's like, well, that's cool. I'll just mute the sound. We can watch it, and then YouTube flags it. And I got to go back and have them edit the video and take the section out.
I think it depends. Like if somebody wrote their own version, their own song, and you played it and stuff like Ben or whatever, that's one thing. But if it's somebody else's song, you can probably get dinged for it.
Yeah,
it's always something. Yet people go to casinos in Las Vegas. Here he is. There you are.
Yeah, I disconnected by mistake, so it took a while to come back in. Weird.
All the time, people go to casinos in Vegas or places, and they got music piped in, on the ceiling somewhere, and they don't get dinged for those, and they show them. So I think if it's out of your control, I think it's okay, something like that. And I know that you can pay YouTube an X amount of dollars a month to play whatever you want. I don't remember. I looked at that a long time ago. So everything has a price.
But if it's his own song, he said it's his own song.
Yeah, well, you got to pay to advertise for it.
Yeah.
And if anyone comes back on it, if they come back, raise a dispute with them and say that the creator was actually on the stream and gave you permission to play it from his channel.
I got a copyright strike a couple weeks ago from YouTube on something I played in an old video, but it was free music that was allowed to be shared on YouTube that I had. So I went to my video, I found the link, I what do you call it? Appealed it or whatever. I posted a link to where it came from, and then they reversed it. So whoever it was just trying to pull a fast one on me, and I didn't want to stand for it.
Well, they've done it. When I started doing videos, they started doing that, and I went back to them and I challenged them every single time, because some of the music that I was using was from editing software that I have. So therefore, because I own the software, I have the rights to use that audio.
Well, once you get monetized. Ben said I can play any song.
Cool.
So if there was a copyright problem, I'll say, hey, I know the guy in Texas. He said I could play it, and just link him or something, and that would fix the problem.
But they did it to me, but they've stopped doing it to me because I challenged every single time.
Once you get over 1,000 subs, things automatically pop up on you all the time with copyright strikes because you're a monetized channel. So you'll have to go in and let YouTube spend however many hours to edit the video to kill that sound, like when Sam Prentice had on that one man that had the Wall-E, the robot, and he's sitting there playing music, and I thought it was really cool, but it didn't dawn on me. Guess what? You're going to get demonetized for it. So I let YouTube go in, and they took like that 30 seconds, and there's no sound, and they cut it out basically.
Or you can use their audio that they have available for you to put over it. They do have.
I didn't have that option. I just had an option to delete it.
Yeah, no. What they do is you can replace the audio with something that they have available that they said you're available to use.
So they have some non-royalty music. Just put it in the background. Yeah.
But I challenged them anyway, and now they don't do it anymore. They stopped because every single time they tried, I challenged them.
Yeah.
And I won. So they just don't do it anymore. Because
I hope that YouTube never goes down and they shut it down or anything, because everything I upload, I delete all those videos on my computer because the files are so big. So if they ever shut it down, I'm screwed. I lost all my content.
Well, if they ever shut down YouTube, they're going to cripple about 80% of the content developers in the planet.
Yeah. And they used to pay a lot better than they do, but I make a little bit here and there, so it's nice. And I asked my wife.
I don't have enough to monetize, so.
I asked my wife a few weeks ago, I said, hey, I'm going to jump on a live stream real quick. I'm not going to do anything. Jump on and super chat me $10 because I want to go over my $100 threshold. So I got paid a couple days later. And she did, but I never did. So now I'm waiting until next month. Wait until the 23rd of this month. So.
Yeah, well, as I said, I'm not monetized. I don't have enough followers to be monetized. I've got enough hours. I don't have enough.
You've got so much free stuff from companies to review. You're doing great, buddy. You're doing awesome.
I'm doing good. I know I am doing good about the machines and stuff. It's just, I don't have. I'm not. My subscribers needs to grow. Like,
what's the threshold?
You have to hit 1,000, right?
You have to hit 1,000.
4,000 watch hours.
I've already reached the watch hours.
So 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah,
Every-
I
got
have
the
to watch
watch hours.
I
I
just need
just
subscribers.
don't have to.
on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you can, post links to your channel. Ask people to subscribe, and it'll help push it.
You can't post links on Instagram, but I have it. I have the link to my channel in my profile.
You can post a link on Instagram, post a picture, and have a link below it. Hold up a sign, whatever, and you can still advertise it that way.
Yeah,
In Liam's case, don't post a picture, please.
Yeah. have I holding up a sign? Hey, come to Ask Our Printer.
Yeah. Oh, you work in the Proving Grounds. Okay, so you're not. Oh, okay, well, I'm in Wixom, so you're not that far from me. Whereabouts? So the Proving Grounds is a GM Proving Grounds, which are about
the motor track.
20 or 30 miles away from me for the automobile Proving Grounds for General Motors.
I'll be right back.
Test track, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's not that far from me. Actually, I know some of the guys who are part of the GM Astronomy Club who actually use the Proving Grounds as their observing location.
That'd be good because the light pollution would be quite low there, wouldn't it?
Actually,
When
no,
in
it's
use.
not because they always have the lights on out there. It's really
do they?
bad. Oh, the place is lit up like a Christmas tree all year round. It's bad. Even when they're not using the track, the lights are on out there.
Stops people going there and playing silly buggers on the track, I suppose, for security.
They
I'm
lost the power switch.
Sorry?
They
I'm
lost the light switch.
Yeah, I don't know.
know.
It's one of the contributors to. Oh, you're down in Romeo. Okay. So you're a Ford. Okay, so Ford. I know some guys who are at Ford as well. Some in IT, some in. So I know some guys who work on the aerodynamics at Ford. So they do a lot out there. They use the wind tunnels a lot at Ford for the aerodynamics testing.
I'll be done a little bit later.
Especially for the higher end cars. But yeah, I know a couple of people at Ford. Actually, I spend a lot of time at Henry Ford College, not at the moment because they're still in shutdown because everything's remote right now. But I'm one of the operators of their planetarium at the college. At Henry Ford College. Yeah, there's a few of us in the astronomy club. This college has a lot of us on volunteer. Oh, I didn't know that. That sucks. A lot of us in the astronomy club. Well, there's about 6 of us in the astronomy club. The Henry Ford College has an observatory, or it has a planetarium. Sorry, and they use it for classes, but it's almost never used that much. So members of our club volunteer to do all of their public stuff at the college. So we do a lot of public shows there, like when we're not at the moment, but normally we would. Like I do maybe 2 or 3 in a month for myself, and we do all the public outreach shows there for the college. Is what we used to, and we will do again once the restrictions are lifted. So it's kind of but it's fun, because we have access to a professional planetarium that we can do. Hence, this is where these came out of because I wanted to do stuff for the blind.
Nice.
But we want to do we have access to a professional planetarium and we can bring people in there whenever we want. As long as it's not being used by the school, we can actually get people. We can bring in friends and family, whatever. Just go in and set everything up. As long as we don't need to feel with a scheduled show, it's good.
Well, guys, I have to run.
No.
Yeah, me too.
No.
I know.
It's 3.5 hours, Jerry. You're on.
I'm gonna go do this.
Yep.
Oh.
Jerry just got coffee. What is
No, he's
that?
got what's that? A T-Rex?
T-Rex.
No,
is
Godzilla.
fine.
Godzilla.
Or Godzilla.
I thought that was your
Godzilla.
microwave TV dinner.
It was crawling up back a second ago. He's in the microwave now. Out of the yard.
Cool.
Coffee's right here. Microwave. I'll drink coffee that's a day or 2 old. If it's still in there, there's nothing floating on top of the coffee, I'll go ahead and nuke it.
I like
Oh no.
Dude, that's just proteins.
I like lamb and shark.
Extra flavour.
Picture till it's totally broken. Isn't that what?
Hey, leave it a few more days. You can chew it. as well, so it's even better.
I worked for a grocery store years ago when I was a kid, when I was 16, which is a very long time ago. And in the cheese section, a bunch of the cheddar cheese had mold on the big giant blocks, and the owner would not let me throw it out. He's like, "Oh no, it just ages it. People can buy that and just cut it off." Which, yes, you can, but do people want to buy it that way? No, they don't.
Actually, it's just penicillin. So
believe it or not, in restaurants, we used to actually look for the moldy cheese.
The moldy cheese.
Yeah, and cut it off. It's actually better.
Same with
meats. People don't realize beef, when it comes into most butchers, is covered in mold. Aged beef is just moldy ass beef. The outer edge of the outer skin of it is moldy. That's aged beef.
The crust.
Wonderful.
The crust. Yeah.
Well, I don't like aged bread. When I open up the bread to throw in a toaster, I don't want it to be aged bread.
I don't like it either.
Just mix it with the butter. It's fine.
Yeah.
But the what did your T-shirt say, Lama? Is it fix it till it's totally broken or something?
Fix it until it's properly broken.
Properly broken.
There you go.
I like that. I like that.
Every time I bring my wife something to drink or eat, I'll say, "Hey, is it good? Is it good?" She goes, "Why? What'd you do to it?"
Just checking. Just checking. Yeah, I'll go have some now.
Then she doesn't want to taste it or eat it because she thinks I poisoned it. I said, "Brandy, you're insured, and no, I didn't poison it."
But yes, you're insured.
Yeah.
Right. But just in case you were worried, I get paid. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here.
Thank you very much, Jason, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Good hanging out with you guys. We'll see you around next time.
Cheers.
Bye.
I'm going to head out, too, because I got to go do dishes.
Yeah, see, there's some already the models there for you, Dominic.
Well, thank you very much for coming in, Lama. I appreciate it.
And another one.
Have a great night.
There's a dolphin, an articulated dolphin.
Nice. Little baby flipper.
And I have a butterfly here, too.
And you got the room for the color change. Got to get that IDEX working properly, right?
Oh yeah, there you go. That's how you find out it works. I have a Triceratops somewhere where I did hit the Triceratops. I have to find them. The Triceratops in red, but the horns are actually white.
Okay.
IDEX. So the beauties of IDEX, you know. I'm building up my kit of the Toys for Tots. So that's only my test pieces from yesterday. Yeah. I'm doing a few more now. Probably tomorrow I'll fill one half of the bed, re-slice it, and then put in duplication mode. So I start hitting both sides and just let it go. Maybe get 20 models at a time, but do it in the same time it takes to print 10.
Awesome. Well, I'm going to go ahead and call the stream, guys. We've been doing this for a bit.
It's just 3.5 hours.
It's a stream. I said it before him.
Yeah.
Went very well. So, everybody, please like, subscribe. Definitely hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate it. You know, it helps YouTube and their algorithm. So,
and even the thumbs down help. I mean, you got 3 thumbs down, which is...
Yeah, that's strange. Well, I know one of them probably came from that spam bot or whatever it was.
Yep.
But anyway, really appreciate it. Everybody have
yep.
a great weekend. Have a great night. I got more videos coming out this week on resin printing. Like I said, I got more goodies in the mail here from Rep Rapper. 2 more different kinds of resin. So that'll be 2 more videos that I'll do. And the Kaiwu, I've got to do a video on it and just a little bit of everything. And please like, subscribe, and share. Go over to Astro Printer's channel and hit him up. Subscribe. He's a great guy. Has a lot of great content every week and every Wednesday night at 7 o'clock Mountain Time, I think it is.
7 p.m.
Eastern Time. He does Hangouts every week, and he used to have on guests all the time. He'll be doing more of that in the future, and I do randomly. I find people have on special guests during the week. So thanks, everybody, and happy printing. Take care. Bye-bye.
Random design.
Cheers, guys. Stay safe, man.